Welcome back to Tabletop Titans for another epic hobby stream. Just making sure that we're good on the audio levels. We're excited to be here. Today is the first Thursday, which means we're going to be doing our normally member stream for the public. My name is Adrian. Of course, I'm joined by Lil B, Brian. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing very well. I was looking at what I was going to be working on 2 seconds ago. We had the conversation. GW is making my life very difficult. And that's all I will say before we jump into it.
That's a great segue. We have lots to talk about. I'm going to be painting up a great unclean one for Saturday's game, which is going to be a ton of fun. We painted a bunch of it previously on stream, some airbrush, some handwork. Today I'm just finishing up and yeah, working on that.
Where's that model from, Adrian?
Oh, nice plug there. It's not a sponsored
Hey, that's
stream.
me.
Hey, it's nice hands you got there. This is from Creature Caster. This is the Lord of Ruin, which I have always wanted ever since they came out with it. And so was able to get one, fairly recently. Built it up, painted it up. This is magnetized, don't worry, he's fine. Boom. And yeah, so great and clean one style model. What are you working on today?
I will be trying to turn these Grey Knights Terminators into larger Grey Knights Terminators. So I'm starting a Grey Knights army, but the Terminators are a little bit too small for my liking.
Yeah.
So So I'm gonna try to take the regular Terminator squad, the new kit that just came out not too long ago, and try to like upscale the Grey Knights Terminators to make them a little bit beefier and a little more substantial. Because not that the new kit or the old kits are bad. But when you compare them to the new kits, it's like, it leaves a little bit to be desired.
And it's also like a little bit of future-proofing as well. Like if they did come out with a new Grey Knights kit, it's probably would be scaled up, and that way you're not going to be left behind.
Yeah, I am fully expecting the Grey Knights Terminators and the Strike Marine equivalents to get
a new kit.
Well,
especially
and be larger.
Because you're doing this. So thank you from the community. Thank you for causing the new Grey Knight kits to be released. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just like we have Shane DeRuckus in chat right now. He finally bit the bullet and got a bunch of Assault Intercessors. So we can all thank Shane for the incoming points increase on those units.
Yeah, thanks.
With that, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, if you want to see more of this content, hit that like, subscribe button down below. And of course, this is normally for members only. So members, or become a member and check it out each and every week. We like to hang out. The way this works is we spend a couple hours working on projects that we just need to or want to work on. So it's things that are coming up in the studio, personal projects, things like that. And we just talk, hang out. Lots to talk about because, of course, I just got back from Nova. We'll be taking a look at some cool things from Nova itself, along with some painting projects from the Discord community. With that, let's dive on in and see what we got. Cool. So what's your plan here? How are you approaching this?
So I think step one is to build the legs from the regular Terminator kit, because I know I probably am going to be using those. Because the legs here on the actual Terminators for the Grey Knights are kind of small compared to the torsos.
Right.
So I think I might be able to get away with taking the chest from the Grey Knights kit and then just kind of slapping it onto the legs from the regular Terminators kit, just to increase the height a little bit, and then the legs are a little bit beefier. And then I'll try to find, maybe I can use the arms from the regular Terminators if it's not too much work to try to convert them over. But I think I'll start with the torso from Grey Knights and legs from the regular Terminators.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how the proportions line up. Because a lot of the stuff, when they did Primaris, which this is not, they kept the heads at the same scale.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of and the shoulder pads too, I think. There's a lot of backwards compatibility. So I'll be curious to see what you can do here. Looking forward to it. Welcome in, everybody. Hopefully you're doing well. Let us know what you're working on at home. We'd love to hear it. For me, I have a bit of homework to do first. My veggies, as we say here, where I do need to do some color blocking. As you can see, I have a lot of the skin tones and stuff are kind of set for now, but I really need to block out all these branches that are coming out of him. And I'll have to do the ropes and leathers as well here. So I think I'm just going to start with these branches. This is, of course, I'd say probably my favorite color from Pro Acryl. Might be Brian's too. Warm brown.
Oh, I love it so much.
It's so good. This is from the Ninjon Signature Series, and I'm a big fan.
Great color. I use it on basically everything.
Right?
It has replaced Mournfang Brown for me, which was previously, before this color came out, was something I could never say. Mournfang Brown was just...
Your go-to.
It was it. It was the color that I used for literally everything.
Yep.
And now I can happily say that I moved on.
It's just such an interesting color. not everyone gets excited about painting the color brown. I now get excited about painting the color brown.
I'm telling you, brown is a great color to paint because you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it works.
Turns out. Love seeing everyone in chat. What's up to Ruckus, Saul, Saban, Specs, Jupiter, the letter T. What's up, everybody?
Mr. T. I pity the food.
If y'all have any questions, feel free to send those in. We would love to chit and chat about things. Oh, so the mold lines begin.
Chat, can we just talk about how terrible these mold lines are? Like, why is this a new kit? And these, like, you're not gonna be able to see them super
so
well,
bad.
imagine, but these mold lines are so massive on this model. Ah, it's so annoying. This is why I hate building. Like, if there were no mold lines on stuff, I would build all day. It wouldn't matter to me.
Honestly,
cleaning
that's
up
fair.
the models is why I hate building.
Yeah, the cleaning, the clipping, the cleaning of the clipping.
Yep, it's so frustrating.
It's all horrible. Putting them together is fine.
Yeah, but if it's just glue on plastic is totally cool.
Right?
I built 10 strikes the other day, and all of their weapons are two-handed weapons.
Right.
So trying to get those to line up on like older kits where they don't have set positions that they want to be in
That's classic.
is so time-consuming and frustrating.
It really is. Yeah, the two. What was I building the other day? There's something like, oh, flash kits. So I'm doing new flash kits. There's 3 connection points, right? It's like shoulders, shoulder on the left and right, and then of course the gun handle. And you're trying to line all these things up together, and it's just a pain.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
And if you like follow it by the directions of the little pan foot thing, you're supposed to glue the hand to one of the arms before you glue it to the body.
Right.
And so like if you glue it in the wrong place,
Yeah.
or like at the wrong angle or whatever, and then you glue it to the body afterwards, and then try to match it up with the other hand, you will never be correct.
It's impossible.
Literally ever.
I'm not that good. I can't.
No,
I can't
absolutely
just
not.
figure that out.
I had the hard time when everything was like tacked onto the model.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a problem.
I know. What I end up doing is I like put the glue, and then I'll like try to get it in the right position. Inevitably, I fail to a point where like the glue is starting to dry, but it's now kind of so spread out and drying that it's like not actually going to hold.
Yep.
So I do a second layer of glue,
Yep.
which isn't great, and then eventually like do like an Insta-set or something.
Oh, I just use plastic glue now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't really care for plastic glue that much except for like gap filling. But now I'm like with this type of stuff, I'm like I'm just gonna. It'll take a couple minutes for it to dry completely. I can always just like move it. Of course, it always works in the worst way for you because you'll like accidentally bump it and then it's like the angle's off again. It's like, oh, dang it.
Yep. Exactly. I'm realizing I had started doing these like antlers in mahogany actually instead of warm brown. But I like this better because I'm going to have these leather straps that are also brown, dark brown. And this way I can actually differentiate between the two colors.
Yeah, I'm into that.
So I think it's actually a better call. Here you go, you can see. This is mahogany. Obviously it's the same. And I could do things to differentiate it, but just having these be a different base color I think will
it'll help a lot.
do that for me. We've got some super chats coming in already. Thank you, everybody.
Let's do it.
Let's see what's going on. Oh, Pezler says 3 minutes before I'm lost forever to Space Marine 2.
Oh,
Yes.
wait, that's gonna be me tonight.
Be strong.
But I have work. I gotta work when I get home.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. You're not sleeping.
No, I'm definitely not sleeping.
A big thank you to 95 Ginger Rage for the generous super chat. They say, a local hobby store just got in Pro Acryl paints. Used them for the first time, and I have a new favorite paint line. Paints well and mixes easy in the airbrush. Now I just need a GW conversion chart to switch over from.
95. I am very happy for you.
Yes.
I cannot sing the praises of Pro Acryl enough.
Yeah.
I will say, you should just give up trying to find the conversion chart. It will just not happen. You just kind of have to accept that because it's not GW paint and it's not supposed to mimic GW paint, you're not going to get exact one-to-ones. You have to find the equivalent that you're okay with, right? So warm brown, while it's very close to Mournfang brown, is not Mournfang brown.
Yep.
So it's just you have to be okay with like it's similar, it's close enough, but it's not the same, and I'm okay with this, right? And that's kind of all the colors. Like you will have some that are very similar, but not the same. Like there's no one-to-one.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, not last week, but the week before, I was working on Ultramarines from Pezler, and you know, I needed to. I wanted to use Pro Acryl, but I needed to match them to GW paints. And I found a blue that I was happy with. It was not the same. I I personally think it looks better, but it's definitely not the same, and that's kind of just the approach you got to take. And in time, you won't even remember the GW paint color.
Nope. I haven't used GW paints in as a mainstay of mine for years now.
My God.
Like I have the one-off color, like Inky by Darkness, is one that I just can't get away from.
Yep.
But that's the only one I use, and even now I'm starting to try to move away from it because I don't want to keep buying it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like on its last legs.
Right.
Because the pots are so bad that it's just drying out, and it's like.
And you're not gonna buy another one.
I'm not buying another one.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So I'm trying to like make my way around having to use this paint, because like while they're like Dark Sea Ben is a good substitute, but not again. It's similar, but it's not the same. It's more green than it is blue, and it's less saturated.
Right.
So it's like you have to be okay with giving some stuff up, I think. But
yeah, I think so, definitely. Lovely seeing everybody. Deruckus wants to know, Brian, why are you going Grey Knights?
I would love to play Eldar, and my favorite army will always be Eldar. But for teams, I'm playing a lot of Grey Knights. And the Grey Knights are honestly a lot of fun, and they play how I want my Eldar to play, just with the 2-up armor save.
Yeah, exactly.
So I am very much into Grey Knights right now. Plus, playing an Imperium army is something that I don't have right now. Like I have Xenos.
Yeah.
I actually only have Xenos.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So this gives me Imperium.
Branching out.
Yeah, exactly.
But you've been playing them for a while now on a bunch of different events.
Yep.
So.
Well, it's because like this goes back to I always talk about this, but Eldar are kind of in a weird spot. They're not a terrible army, but they're not like a great army, right? They're in like this weird middle road, and if you want to make them work, you have to put the reps in.
Yep.
And I'm just not doing that. So it's much easier for me to have success with Grey Knights playing in my play style than it is right now for me to have to play Eldar without having the games in to really practice and do well. And especially because I've been doing a lot of team events recently.
Yeah.
If it was singles, I wouldn't care. I would just play Eldar, and it's not a big deal because like I'm only letting myself down, or like I'm enjoying the games. It doesn't change anything. But in a team setting where my score impacts the rest of my team's performance, I feel obligated to perform at a higher level.
Yeah.
So Grey Knights is where I'm at.
I think that's totally fair. Great question. Thank you. Always a good reminder to just be like, don't feel like you have to do anything in particular in this hobby. Don't feel like you have to play the army you always played, or you have to do this or that. Like you can just follow your passion, Big thank you to Doug for the 5 gifted Tabletop Titan memberships.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it.
This isn't a membership.
No, not a members, but we got 5 new members. So welcome everybody. Yes. Amazing. Looking at all the new members we've got in the chat. Fantastic.
Our community is just the best.
We have a fantastic community. We appreciate it. Comical War Games. That's a great name. Let's see. So many questions. Appreciate it. Thank you, Stephen Whittam. Yeah, I almost did it. Stephen says...
I'm really bummed you didn't.
I know. Help! Finishing a tourney list for Saturday. Okay. So we've got 80 points to spend. Current choices are Combi Lieutenant, Intercessors, Outriders, or a second Jump Chaplain. This is message 1 out of 3, I think. Part 2. List otherwise is BASOS.
Blood Angels, Sons of Sanguinius,
okay.
with Foot Captain.
Plus SP.
Sanguinary Priest.
Yep, plus 10 Assault Intercessors and Repulsor. Jump Captain and...
Sanguinary Priest.
Van
Vets.
Yep. Jump Captain plus 10 Jump Intercessors, 10 Van Vets, 2x10 Jump Intercessors, 2x5 Scouts, Predator, Annihilator. That's awesome. And then it said out of 3, but I just see 2 messages.
Is there a third message?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Need more Bridger in my life. He's at 7-Eleven. Probably, honestly.
Gosh,
okay, well, we'll wait for the third part. While we're waiting on that, we can still talk about it. 80 points to spend. So you've got a lot of jump units. This is, of course, old school Blood Angels, because the new ones I don't think are officially out.
Remind me, were there infiltrators in the list?
I don't remember seeing infiltrators.
If you don't have infiltrators, I think you could do with the Navigator.
Oh, you think so?
Because Navigator is 70 points. It gives you that 12-inch no deep strike, and it can hold down your flank, like your whole backfield essentially, while all of your jump pack units are going forward. It's much cheaper than an infiltrator squad. You get less coverage than you would in an infiltrator squad. Yeah. And if you have any type of, if your opponent has any type of indirect, he's probably dead.
Yeah. True.
But in the matchups like GSC,
Yep.
or Grey Knights even.
Demons.
Or any of the stuff that
Tau.
have 3-inch deep strikes. Like
more and more.
You are protecting yourself in those matchups. So I think Navigator is 70 points. I think that's probably my pick.
Yeah, I think that's actually not crazy. I'm very much into that. Intercessors, Common Lieutenant, Outriders, Second Jump Chaplain.
But if we're going off the list that you said,
not Outriders, as much as it pains me to say.
I think probably a Common Lieutenant, right? Because they're lone op.
Yeah.
And they do they're just better.
It's pretty dang good, honestly.
The mission stuff. So
Yeah.
I think Common Lieutenant. If you're going off the list that you said.
Where were they? Yeah, I'm trying to see if this chaplain gives value. Foot Captain with the Assault Intercessors.
There's just 10 naked Van Vets. So they
Also a wound.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice too.
Yeah, but their weapons aren't like crazy, right?
Well, that's why +1 is nice. They're Strength 5, I think.
They all have the lightning claws now, right?
Well, no, they're heirloom weapons.
Oh, that's the.
So the one downside to
That's
Van
so
Vets is they're
annoying.
tougher because they have the invuln save and they will have the 5-up Feel No Pain, but they don't hit quite as hard. I think it's Chaplain or Combat Lieutenant. Although the Navigator's like not.
It's
not crazy.
When I do singles for Grey Knights,
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have a Navigator in there.
Oh, interesting.
For sure, because every game I've played so far, I'm like, I don't want to leave a unit back here to do nothing for the whole game.
Right.
And so if I had just like a 70-point little dummy to sit in the back and do nothing
nice.
and defend my objective that I've stickied and moved off of, it's really good.
I think that's fair.
So
I
I actually just bought one this weekend too.
Oh, sweet. It's a sick model too.
It is actually a really cool one.
Oh, okay. They say, thanks, sorry, there was only 2 super chats. I managed to fit in the list into 1 rather than 2. Ah, we got you. There's the 3rd one.
Got him.
Got him. Thanks, Steven. Hopefully that's helpful. Love the list. Very, very fun. We have some from 95 Ginger Age, but I just want to check in on your hobby situation.
Oh, I have scraped mold lines off of 2 legs.
Oh.
And not like 2 sets of legs, like 2 individual legs.
2 legs.
Literally 2 legs.
So you're using the extra thick glue. You like that one?
Yeah, I think it just... Yeah, I prefer it. The thin sucks because it runs everywhere and you can't really control it.
That is true.
So I don't really care for thin. The extra thick is my preferred.
Yeah.
And then if I need to gap fill or whatever, I have like my little sprue goo kind of mix.
Oh, nice. In the Tamiya Classic.
Yeah, it's like plastic cement, but it's thin, and then you just put the sprues in it and it melts it.
I love it.
But this is kind of my go-to here.
Sweet.
I gotta figure out. I think I'm gonna build the torso really quick and then go from there.
Yeah, get a sense for that before you go too far.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I'm just painting branches.
Branches.
Branches. Very excited to get this guy on the table. I'm running 6 Greater Demons against you on Saturday. It's going to be awesome.
That's ridiculous.
It's almost 2 of each. The only one I'm not doubling on in this list is Khorne because...
But you have Bellicor, right?
Bellicor is like you don't have to do Bellicor anymore, but if you're not going mono god, then there's more reason because you always have someone you can do the 6-inch off of.
Right.
And the shooting is interesting when you have 6 monsters also because it's like you want to get close, you got to get within 18, and then you can, run out and slap them.
Yep.
So we'll see. Let's see what's next. A big thank you to 95 Ginger Rage. Brian, have you tried the GK shoulder pads on the new Terminators yet? I tried the old Deathwing pads on a new Terminator captain, and it was a little too small. Not sure if the captains are a bit bigger. Oh, interesting.
We can try that out later. When I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I was like, Zoom, do it.
Definitely when I get there. I'm going to try the torso, and then I'm going to see if I need to put the Grey Knight's arms on.
Yeah.
Or if I can use the Space Marine arm, like the regular Terminator arms.
Right.
If I can use the regular Terminator arms, it'll be because the shoulder pads fit.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, I'll have to see. Yeah, I was thinking about, this was a few months ago, when I got to play Grey Knights.
Yeah, never again.
I was thinking about these kind of stuff, like what would actually work. I know, so sad. Obviously, it was a good fit, though.
Yeah, I didn't think I would like this army as much as I do, if I'm going to be honest.
I knew you'd like it.
Yeah, I have a problem.
It's Eldar in power armor. 95 Ginger Edge again says, Adrian bought the only 2 pots of Lego Blue-Green I've ever seen in Nova Scotia. No idea what I'm going to do with them, but I got them.
Nice.
That's what matters. I love it. It's an amazing color. What can I say? It's kind of like Brian was saying earlier, right? Like, I would say, generally speaking, Pro Acryl is my favorite paint line right now, but there are certain colors that I will go back to. Like, obviously, blue-green. I love emerald. I like moot green from GW. The washes. So you just keep coming back for those classics. There's no need. You don't have to be a paint monogamous.
True.
I
have
2024.
so many paints. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god, yeah.
You're gonna see it next week when you go to my place.
Oh, I'm excited.
I got rid of so much of my stuff too. Like all my GW
Really?
stuff, I gave away to other people, like to random
wow.
people, and I was like, I don't need this stuff anymore.
Yeah, I
But
might as
still
well.
have so much.
It doesn't last forever.
Yeah, that's true.
I need to see Brian play Lumineth. Yes.
Like if we had a Lumineth army, I'd play it.
I know we need to.
But I refuse to build and paint my own Lumineth army.
It's a nightmare. We will get one. Brian Pullman has them. They're all over there. In box
They've been
still.
sitting on that shelf for months now.
And actually, I have one in my garage, also in box.
That, you know what, Adrian? That's almost not helpful.
It's really not helpful. I was just like, they're such a beautiful army. I know I want to do them at some point. So like when I saw them on sale or like tournaments, I would like buy a box.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I stopped because I'm like, okay, I haven't done anything with this yet. So, such a beautiful army.
It is. It's a gorgeous army. Which is like why I'm very sad that I'm not doing it. Or that I have no desire to do it, because the models are just incredible.
It's a big commitment.
It's a huge commitment, more so than most other armies, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Generally, I would say Sigmar armies are more approachable than 40k armies.
Mm-hmm.
They're a bit smaller. The models can be simpler, but not that one. Not that one. That's a lot.
Yeah, that one is tough.
Oh god, this is getting harrowing. It's getting these branches.
All right. I can already see an issue that I'm gonna have.
Oh yeah.
There's like a massive gap on the back of the legs here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Terminator legs.
Yeah.
There's just a big hole right there in the back.
Oh.
So I think I'm gonna have to figure out a way. I have to cut down this like weird midsection to make the torso fit on top,
Oh jeez.
and then figure out a way to cover that hole.
Green stuff.
I brought milliput, so I think that was my initial thought. Was any gaps I have, I just fill with milliput. But
You have to be prepared to do that on
yes,
upwards of 20 guys.
yes, yes, exactly. I think actually.
And you don't want to use just the. What if you use the new Terminator legs and torso?
My only concern with that is I don't get the psychic hoods, and then also all of like the weird filigree across the armor. I'm already losing that on the legs.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
So I don't want to like lose too much of what makes them Grey Knights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Because these torsos are kind of small, but like don't really look too tiny.
No, you might want to trim a little bit here.
Yeah, I gotta take
so that
off
it's a little bit less
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of like it. It's more true scale.
Yeah, it feels better. Because like if you look at the actual bodies here,
Yeah.
like, you can just compare the backs of them. Like you can see that the scale has increased dramatically.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Uh-oh. It'll work. We'll make it work.
It's gonna be great.
We'll make it work. Because these are my Grey Knights. So eventually when they do release a new Terminator box for Grey Knights, those will just be my Paladins.
Yeah.
These will be my Brotherhood Terminators.
Ah, those
The new ones will be the Paladins. Yeah, exactly.
they
There needs to be a
armor.
difference between the two anyways.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
Yeah,
To
exactly.
cope with the pain.
Saul thinks cities and Slaanesh are probably the hardest AOS armies to paint.
Slaanesh, I could agree with that. Not the demon side, obviously, but the
Yeah, it's all the
mortals,
mortals.
yeah.
That's another army that's sitting unbuilt right now. I don't know if cities are like.
there's just a lot of materials. It's a time-consuming army, not necessarily a difficult army. I think is more the issue.
That's true. They would contrast really well.
Yes.
Or speed paint.
Or speed paint.
I
Yeah.
know. We're
Yeah, we
thinking
know
about Colonel
someone,
Festus.
yeah.
Yeah. They would speed paint really well. Oh man. Let's see. Are we going to Brian's house? Yes. Looks like the Great and Clean One has a hoof for a hand.
A hoof.
Yeah, it's I magnetized the hands. I'll be honest, I'm so torn because as you saw when I was kind of trying to show it off, like these are decent sized magnets, but they're still kind of weak because it's so much resin.
Like the flesh.
Yes, but I'm torn because the right loadout for this guy right now is the flail, but the sword is like way cooler. Like, where is this flail even? Hold on, let me show you. Look how cool the sword is. Super cool and detailed and like demonic and awesome. And the flail is gone.
I'm about to cut and make an irreversible cut, and it's very. This is why I hate kit bashing.
Yeah. At a certain point, you just need to give yourself permission. Just go.
I'm just gonna do it.
I don't know where the flail went. Anyways, the flail is like super basic. It's like a Fisher Price flail.
Like debating.
This is the point of no return for Brian.
Yeah, I'm like trying to figure out if this is how I approach this.
Try
It's
to
like the back here just slots in like this, right? But it's the entire back piece. I don't need the whole back piece.
Oh, weird.
You know what I mean?
Wait, do you need the back piece from that one at all?
I just need the bottom half of it, right? Because I need like the butt plate.
Wait, hold on. Hold.
Hold.
I want to move this focus. How's that? Better? Okay,
So
cool.
This is the back piece from the new Terminator kit.
Okay, yeah.
The only thing I need off of it is the little butt flap.
Yeah, well, that's easy to take off.
Because that like slots into here. Right?
Oh, and that covers the hole.
And it covers the hole.
Okay.
But it already has like this little like round thing here.
Yeah.
Is already on the Terminator kit, right? So I just need it up to this point.
Yeah.
To...
That seems fine.
It's just so stressful.
You're so not a builder. It's like the easiest cut.
I know it's an easy cut,
It's
but
like right. It's like
I
right
also have a
perfect.
saw on my thing, and it's not I'm grabbing it.
Should we have grabbed you a cutting mat?
Probably.
I wouldn't. Don't worry about the table too much.
Oh, I wasn't. Don't you worry.
Okay, good. Good. Thanks so much, Doug, for the super chat. I got that same one. I'm going to proxy my Great and Clean one. Much different than the Glot Night colors, though. Yes. What's up, Doug? Great to hear from you. Appreciate it. It was great meeting you. We're going to talk more about the Glot Night today, later on. Yeah, I love this model. It's so cool. Like, I think I already have a lot of Great and Clean ones. Most of them kit bashed, you know, trying to keep them nice and cheap and affordable. But I've just always wanted them.
Don't you have a clay one also?
I have a clay one. I literally made out of clay when I was in college because I just had no money for anything. So like I got like my $7 Fimo thing, got my ball of foil, and I sculpted them, and it was great. You know what? That's what we do for this hobby.
I have a saw in here somewhere, I think.
Bone saw.
Bone saw is ready.
I got you for 3 whole minutes.
Oh, that's a camera I just kicked.
Oh, let's see what this angle looks like.
Break it, you buy it.
Break it, you buy it. Beautiful. Very artistic.
Nice.
Oh, wow, you really bumped it.
Did it? That's where it was at, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can adjust it. I feel like we're gonna be chasing you this whole time, so.
Yeah, probably.
It was just very zoomed out before. So.
Go fly a kite.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Why do you like this? Eh?
This isn't gonna be straight either. Is like the worst part. I can already feel it not being.
No.
Oh yeah, nice and crooked.
Heck yeah.
Well, it's a start.
The prosecutor scale is bad. Oh no! Shane was trying to use some Sigmarines for his Space Marines.
Special Marines.
Special Marines, but apparently it's not gonna work. That's right. You were supposed to be messaging me yesterday, Shane, to look for those bits.
I assume you did not look for the bits then?
I did not. I told him, I was like, hey, message me tonight when I'm home because I will forget. And I did.
Nice.
Crypt Shadow asks, what classes for Space Marines will you be playing in PvE? Okay, so here's the thing.
Adrian has no idea.
I have no idea. Yeah, that's right. Cut to the chase. I've tried to stay like pretty clear of all the Space Marine stuff. I watched a little bit a couple days ago just to get excited, and I'm very excited. But I haven't really done any research beyond that. So I'm not opposed to talking about it. Spoilers are fine for that kind of stuff. But yeah. Do you know what you want?
For PvP?
They said PvE.
PvE. So
Kind of depends, right?
every game that I play,
Okay.
and we've talked about this a few times,
Yeah.
I always play like a weird support adjacent role.
Right.
And that's just kind of how I enjoy playing like RPGs and everything else. I don't want to be the one that has to do all the damage. I don't want to be the one that has to like be the tank or whatever.
Right. Oh, that's nice.
So oftentimes I'll take like a healing role or like some type of like spell casting or whatever.
Yep.
And I think, or like a sniper. If I can be an archer in any game, I'm going to be an archer.
Oh,
For
interesting.
whatever reason.
What? That's the opposite of what you just said.
An archer? No, it's like a support. Like an archer is like
That's
a
like
support.
a DPS.
No.
Whoa.
No, you're crazy.
Chat, let me know.
It's not a DPS if you don't hit your shots.
That's true. Oh, that's true. That's true. You're like, oh, you play Widowmaker?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're not DPS.
I don't hit any shots,
It
dude.
doesn't matter if you don't hit.
I'll pop off one game and get like
Yeah.
10 kills
Yeah.
in a row. I'm like, oh, I did so much. Or like, I'll kill the whole team in one
my
fight,
God.
and then that's the only thing I've done the entire game.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
But I got play though.
I'm a god. You're like, God, you're so toxic.
Yeah, basically. I'm the first one to type diff also.
That's amazing.
No, I think I'm gonna probably start with sniper. I know that starting out as a class, it's like a tougher one to start with because it's
sure.
not as strong as the other classes at the beginning. But I think that'll suit my play
So
styles.
sick.
However, I am nervous with the amount of enemies that you fight in this game.
Yeah.
That a sniper might not be good.
Right? Did they have any like secondary weapons or something?
You get a bolt pistol,
You get a bolt pistol. That's amazing.
and then you get a combat knife. But you have a camo cloak, so you can go invisible.
I know.
So, like,
I saw that. I was like, what?
That is like perfect for me because I'll take a shot and I'll run away,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I'll go like a mile away, and then I'll take another
Look.
shot, and then I'll run away again.
It's gonna be a 200-hour campaign, but you'll
I
get there,
can't wait,
so.
dude.
I'm not playing co-op in this game. DPS is a support. They support in healing. I mean killing. I mean, yeah. Look, DPS doing damage is just healing in reverse, basically.
It's true, yeah.
And healing is just damage. We always talk about like, there's like people like super toxic about like doing damage. Like, yeah, top DPS, like got these kills.
I got
blah,
gold
blah.
damage.
We like to like do the same thing but with healing. It's like, yeah, get healed, son. What's up now, huh? And you just like start teabagging someone when you're like healing them, and you're like, you're toxic, but you're healing. So conflicted.
There's a new healer in Overwatch right now.
Oh yeah,
and she's actually really fun to play. She's like crazy mobile.
that's cool.
But I get toxic with her for sure. Because she has like a speed ring.
Speed ring.
Yeah, so she like shoots out a ring, and then when your teammates walk through it, they
Yeah.
get like a speed
Oh,
boost.
that's fun.
And so I just only ever use it for myself. But like I play with my friends. Like I
You
don't
like
play
play
with my-
Baptiste and you like just like buff yourself. You're like,
Like I play with my friends. Don't be toxic to other people.
yeah. Only your friends.
But only to my friends, I'm extremely toxic.
That's really funny. So it's like little like Sonic hoops.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Lucio speed boost, except
Right.
you have to walk through the ring in order to get it. But like when she shoots
kinda
it,
fun.
she doesn't have to walk through it. She automatically gets it. It's like I'll just shoot it up into the sky, just so like they can't have it,
And
but
then
I
she
get it.
just-
Yeah.
Wait, when did this character come out?
The start of the season.
weird.
I think we're at season 10 or 11 now. Whatever the season is.
Jesus. Been out of the loop, man.
Yeah, I was playing more when I could just support myself. Look, you can only rely on yourself in this world,
Right. That's true. Especially in online games.
especially when you play with my friends.
Saban wants to know, does Brian hate Custodes because they are metallic yellow?
Yeah,
Yes.
I do actually. Also, my brother plays them, so like it's extra hate.
Oh,
'Cause
that's
I have
right.
had to play them a lot,
Yeah.
or play against them a lot.
Yeah, my brother has a hatred and fear of orcs and the color orange. Related.
No, unrelated. Unrelated.
Yeah, unrelated. Yeah, fun fact. We don't. Oh, that looks way better.
It looks better on the front.
Yeah.
Here, but
seeing
then you
it-
turn it around and there's like this weird kind of gap, but I still.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, there we go. Not good.
no worries.
Sort of.
There's a gap in the back.
Yeah. So like when it is good here, maybe I should just tack it on with a little bit of glue or something.
Yeah, just to see it.
So like that's what it looks like from the front.
Okay. That looks great.
And
I love
then
that.
If I flip it around to where it's like seated in the front, there's like this weird gap in the back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's
I might
that's
be able to
easily
hide that with like
understandable.
a book or something.
Oh, yeah. Everyone needs a good book.
Yeah, or I trimmed the outside of this a little bit better so it fits more like a socket.
Right.
So I think that might be the plan.
No, I think it's coming together, actually.
It's just a lot of sanding here, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's good content. That's why we chat.
That's why I didn't do this last week.
By yourself? Yeah, that's fair. Bridger's been streaming some Magic content.
Yeah, he said solo streaming is miserable.
It's
It's a lot of work.
you're just talking to yourself. I mean, you
Yeah.
have chat, but like we really don't like to have any dead air, you know.
Yeah.
And so with 2 people, it's
It's easy.
easy. With 3 people, it's super easy. But when you're streaming by yourself, you know, like traditional
You gotta
streaming.
fill all that space.
Oh my god.
And you have to make it entertaining for people and whatever else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff.
So it's exhausting. All right, let's see. Now I should just finish up on these antlers.
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 Oh, did I go too far down? Oh, these purity seals.
Melody says, I used to stream MTGO, which is what Bridge is doing. It's stand up for 20 people with no feedback. So true. Yup. Way back in the day, I used to stream game development. And it's the same deal. It's just you just go and you just have a conversation with yourself constantly.
The echo chamber.
You make all the quiet parts out loud. The deal. So, all right.
I'm just gonna tack this down. I'm gonna see what it looks like.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out as we go.
Not with blue tack, just with more glue.
Just with actual glue.
Glue
and
tack.
by tacking it down, I mean I'm just gonna glue it
Yeah, right.
and break it off if I need to.
Hey, gluing is the best form of magnetization. For sure. Yeah, excited for Space Marine 2, excited for upcoming Skaven. We've got Kill Team hopefully soon. So much cool stuff happening right now. We talk a bit about Nova too.
Oh yeah.
So we will do the community corner at the end as always, and I have a kind of a special bonus edition where I include some pictures that I took at Nova, and then also some things that people have posted in our Discord that I also saw at Nova, just to kind of give a special shout out. But if you're not familiar, Nova is the Northern Virginia Open.
Not so Northern Virginia anymore.
Not anymore. It's in DC now, which it's a better venue. But and so this year, Mel and I went, and I played in the 40K Champs. Took my orcs, bully boys, had a great time. It was tough going, man. I'll tell you that. And the layouts, some of the layouts are so open, it's wild.
Yeah.
Like, we need to diversify some of the layouts we play on stream because, oh my God.
It was actual GW terrain?
Technically.
Technically.
So it was literally GW terrain supplied by GW.
But just not enough.
It wasn't enough. It was a bunch of generic Ls. Half of them are the wrong orientation.
Nice.
Many of them are too short. And so it was just like really bad coverage, and then like the layout and mission combos were just tough. Like mission 3 was just like complete, and this section of like 10 inches that was just like no man's land right in the middle. And then you kind of have L's on the side, but again they're kind of short L's, so people are like, well, I'll just walk to the side and shoot you. And that round I faced a list you see all the time. All the time you see this. 2 giant grip bricks of Shuriken Cannon Wind Riders. Which is like the perfect way to kill knobs, by the way. I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Oh, I love that for you.
I was just like, how? The one person. No, I had really rough matchups. Round 1 was Necrons, which was fun. And that's a tough matchup for them, honestly. Like, I had a great opponent. They're very knowledgeable. He's a TO. But he's like, probably could have basically ended the game on turn 2, but I was very conservative turn 1, so it ended up going longer, but we took that. Round 2, I went up against Deceptors, again. Who plays against us? Who runs Deceptors? This is the Alpha Legion detachment. This is on the mission where all your battle line can heroically intervene or go to ground for free.
For free, yep.
Guess what his whole army is?
Battle line.
Battle line. It's cultists and legionnaires in the middle. And then the back line is just a gun line of Forge Fiend, two Armigers, only one of which is all melee, but there's still that, and a Lord of Skulls with a Warpsmith. And with the GW terrain, of course, you got the Ls. And all you need to do as Lord of Skulls is just toe into that L,
yep.
and you unlock about 30% of the battlefield.
Ooh,
and I have to cross this field.
Yeah, just walking literally across no man's land.
Across the field, there's cultists screening me. If I move an inch away from the cultists, there's a strat to move 6 full inches. Not D6, 6 inches.
Brutal.
So I'm like, oh, on top of that, they took Assassinate. So I was like, every unit I lose is 4 points.
That's brutal.
So that was rough. Round 3 was, was that the Eldar? Might have been the Eldar. No, round 3 was Vanguard Marines. Guess what they do? They run away when you get close, and the uppy downy shooting you from all the different angles. So that was rough, but I actually ended up getting it within 1 point. Lost by 1 point on a secret mission with Gaz in the backfield.
Oh, you got the secret mission,
I got the secret mission. He just like picked up my card and he's like, "We're going ah!" And my opponent was like, "They're like, it wasn't worthwhile trying to spend all the assets to kill Gaz." Instead, he went and basically secured the entire rest of the field.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we were shocked. I actually managed to bring it with 1 point, but he was kind of in control of the game the whole time because it's the same thing. You know, screening with scouts, moving when he needs to, brick of aggressors waiting for the right moment. Pro tip, Shane, you're supposed to roll a 5 or a 6 on the move away strat. That's pretty good against my armies. And then my last 2 games were like good, honest Warhammer against melee armies.
Nice.
So Chaos Demons and then World Eaters, both great games, but I had a lot less to complain about, so there's less of a story there.
Yeah, the stories only come from the complaints.
Yeah, that's the good
Everybody
stories.
knows that, yeah.
But honestly, 5 great games of Warhammer. I was really impressed by every one of my opponents. I felt like the caliber of players was quite high, honestly. And like I was like arguably at the mid tables. I went 3-3, and still people were like, they knew their stuff, they knew how to play. It was very cool. So I had a great time. Because Cream made me so sad. Yeah.
I love that you had to play against double Wind Rider.
Like, yeah,
That's amazing.
double. He's like, they're okay, and I was like, yeah, I've got 20 knobs.
He's like, oh, these are amazing.
They're amazing.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's so good. He just got a little too close in one turn, and I was like, all right, I got to go for it, and we just whoosh, closed the distance. But if he was just a little bit further back, I would have just been out of luck. So, but we're here hobbing, so let's talk about hobby stuff. It was really cool seeing all the amazing, the Lord of the Rings boards, always amazing.
Oh, dude, they're so
good.
They're so good.
Hey, Savin, welcome to Primark. Get those discounts.
Welcome.
We'll talk more about Capital Palette as we get to the end, but again, I got to see several things that we've seen on the channel here in progress from our members. I got to see the Glot Knight. I saw some really cool terrain in use in the narrative event, which was awesome. It was just a great time. Highly recommend Nova if you are on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm very jealous that I did not go.
I know. You had a good time at SonomaCon, yeah?
Yeah, I had a great time at SonomaCon. Playing the team event, the team did well. Had a lot of fun, learned a lot of stuff as far as like how we play and how we play together as a team, which is really nice to be able to see that and then work on going into SoCal.
Oh, you're going down, SoCal.
Oh yeah, we're for sure going down.
You're going down.
All of us. So Will played Dark Angels, which he had played 4 games prior to, prior to the team event. He went undefeated, of course.
What?
He's got like this, he's weird. He's like, in Army he plays religiously.
Yeah.
He'll do really poorly with.
Correct, yes.
And then in Army he just like picks up for the first time. He's like, well, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know how to play this matchup. So we'll just see what happens.
Oh my God.
And then that's just how he wins most of his games. He's like, I don't know what to do. So we're just going to put everything in the middle and then you can figure out what to do.
Yeah, that's
and then most of the time their opponents are just so taken, they're like,
right.
What?
You know who the greatest swordsman in the world fears is the worst swordsman in the world because you can't count on him doing anything the way you expect.
Yeah, exactly.
That's too funny.
So he went undefeated, which is insane.
That's wild.
Like it was a good time.
That's
like,
wild.
Yeah. It was good. It was good.
Oh man, Dark Angel's pretty good too.
They are, yeah. I mean, they are very strong. The Deathwing Knights are just crazy.
You were saying we were talking about like representation at a tournament in between stream. I was surprised to hear them so low.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder why.
So for the Champs Cup, or the Champions Cup, which is a team event run by Frontline Gaming, it's going to be happening in a couple of weeks here. They're going through all the lists right now and checking them all.
Right, so you're not spoiling anything.
Yeah, I'm not spoiling anything.
Okay, cool.
I haven't seen any lists and whatever, but I'm part of Team Zero Comp, which is why I have all the information or whatever.
This is just general, this is what
just,
armies are registered as.
Yeah, exactly. Like anybody could go through and count how many of each army. They just had a little graph to show us. Yeah. But the most taken army for this event for teams was Necrons.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
It was like 31 or 32 teams out of the total of 55 or something, or 50 or whatever it is taking Necrons, which is crazy.
I don't picture them being amazing for teams. I see them as more of an all-round army.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless everyone's taking Catans.
I think No, I don't even think it's Catan's. I think it's like still just Hypercrypt.
Interesting.
Which is crazy. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, a Hypercrypt to me should not be taken as much as more than Sisters, more than Grey Knights, more than Thousand Suns. Like,
That's
no
wild.
way. Absolutely not. But I think that's all of those teams also had the other armies as well.
Right.
So, like, Necrons is always a good army, just like, well, I don't want you to score 20 points in this game, so here, you'll get a 10 instead. And so, like,
brutal.
It's just like one of the armies that'll stop you from maxing out your score, is what it feels like to me.
That's a great point. Yeah, so for context, folks, teams events, you are generally only allowed one of each codex. So you have certain slots that get filled up, and what happens is things like Space Marines, like you get, if it's based off of Space Marines codex, you still only get one. So you have things in that slot that will just kind of take priority. So there's some armies that might not appear as much in teams, not because they're bad at teams, but because there's something that is more flexible or it fits a role more commonly that's not covered by other armies. So that can definitely be a factor. That's so weird.
Yeah, but Guard also was taken a lot.
That one doesn't surprise me as much.
Yeah, but the amount that it was taken, it was like the 5th most taken army.
Wow.
Like, that seems real high to me.
Oh my god, seriously.
Also, these arms are very similar in size.
Oh yeah.
So I think this should work.
That's surprising.
For I forget who asked me about the shoulder pads.
Dude, it's looking good.
I only have one of these little tabards, though, is kind of the problem.
Oh no!
They only give you one, because on like the sergeant. They don't have sergeants,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's supposed to be on like the sergeant.
You print some, maybe?
Yeah, I can definitely print some.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Digital Designer, who's great hanging out this whole weekend. Figure y'all would like this. Just wrapped up season 2 of Mini Opportunity Golf. Oh my god, wait, I totally missed this.
Oh no.
Metal and My Peter were legends, painting / selling 268 and 125 models respectively.
Dang.
Collectively, 770 models were painted or sold. Oh my god, amazing.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. The willpower to not just hoard unpainted models.
I wouldn't know about that.
I definitely would not know about that.
Yeah, your garage is not.
It's bad. I did not do as well this mini golf painting season. I don't think I might have ended up negative.
Oh, I was for sure.
Or positive. It's super positive.
I was super positive. Like, grossly positive.
Right. I did pick up 10 more flash kits this weekend, so that's not helping. Yeah. We want to talk about the number purchased. Spec says, I wonder how many GSC I painted during that season. I know. That'd be cool to have like an ongoing tally.
No, you got to make a draft.
Yeah.
We get so into this that we have a draft.
Oh.
Well, I know that Specs is going to paint at least this, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Just make it like a whole
That would be
sport.
fun.
Just make a sport out of it.
Yeah, yeah,
For the
exactly.
spectators. The spectators sport.
It's fantasy hobbying.
Look, I'll play fantasy painting.
Yes,
for sure.
I love it. So Bear asked a question, what is mini golf painting? Great question. So mini golf painting is something we do on our Discord. It's free for everyone to join, and Digital Designer organizes it. And it works like this, basically. In golf, of course, you go around, you play the course, and you're trying to complete each hole in as little swings as possible, right? And you're trying to get below par, whatever. So every swing you take counts as a point. You want to get as low as possible. Mini golf painting takes that same principle to basically help.
The extreme.
Yeah, to the extreme, right? To help us, inspire us to actually get rid of our pile of shame and stuff like that. So when you buy models, when you purchase or receive or whatever new models, your points go up. You put it in the Discord, you say, got 10 flash kits, plus 10 points. Ding, goes up. Anytime you complete or sell or finish models or whatever, your points go down. And so the goal is to obviously try to get as low as possible. And so it's just a fun way to basically incentivize us to like actually finish painting our things before we buy more.
Yep.
So it's a fun thing. We've been doing it. We've done it 2 seasons now, and I'm sure we'll be doing another one very soon. So yeah, it's fun. Shout out to Digital. Digital, I forget, you got this, you were inspired by a different community. So let me know, I'm blanking on the name. Sounds like heresy. Obiiscus Hobby and Gaming. I sold all my Warhammer, probably close to 1,000 models, and bought like 12 MCP models total. Painted about 80 between A Song of Ice and Fire, MCP, and Infinity. I love it. I just don't have that willpower. See, what I did is I kept all those, and then I also bought MCP, which are still I half painted.
MCP, oh man, MCP is so cool. The models are so sick. I also have, oh geez, what's it called? Shatterpoint. I bought some Shatterpoint. Well, I played at an event. I got store credit, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to come back here for like ever until I do the next event. Yeah. So I was like, oh, they had just come out with like the Night Sisters and Savage Opress. Oh. And I love Savage. He's so cool. So I was like, I got to get him.
That's so sick.
And like I brought him with the intent of not necessarily playing the game, but like painting him to like a display standard, you know? Mm-hmm. And like one day I'll get to it, but man, he's just sitting there.
I love the models. I want to paint the Legion models, but I really want to paint the Shatterpoint models.
Yeah.
I just love, they're kind of stylized.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're a bit bigger, so they just look like a pleasure to paint.
Yeah.
Have you played Shatterpoint at all?
No, I have not. I wanted to, but like the people I play Legion with, or that I used to play Legion with, they never really got super into it.
Yeah.
Like they played a few games when it first came out, but then they're like, it's not Legion. We're gonna go back to playing Legion.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a very different game system, you know?
For
like,
sure.
It's less about killing, it's more about maneuvering and that type of thing, whereas Legion was very, like...
Killing,
yeah. Like, it was easier to kill in Legion, right? As opposed to Shatterpoint, where it's like you have to kill them 3 times and then jump through 17 hoops, and
it's about
maybe they'll stay down. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I still want to try it. I haven't had a chance. Yeah. So... But didn't they took like in Legion you have your orders, you like flip over your cards and that like decides where you activate?
Yeah.
I think they took that over to Shatterpoint.
It's all completely random.
Which is
terrible.
It's not my favorite. I love MCP where it's like the skirmish games you're choosing when to activate.
Yep.
So I love it. I think MCP might be the best skirmish system out there right now.
Yeah, alternating activations is great.
Yep.
Alternating activations with some type of downside like Legion, also great.
Yep.
Because like you get your core units or whatever that you decide you want to activate, the rest is random. You don't have any agency over that.
Right.
And I think that's a great system.
Yep.
Obviously, there's people that don't like that. They want to always have perfect order control or whatever. And it's like, whatever.
But you know where that comes from, right? It's historical gaming, and it's like represents like the chain of command, and like it's a different way of abstracting how these games happen. So I think at that scale, I think it works.
Yeah.
You know.
And then Shatterpoint, it's like here's all of the worst things about alternating activations where you just don't get to choose anything. Yeah,
that's my fear. I like to make tactical choices.
Yeah, and you can't plan out a turn based off of, well, if I don't get this thing first, then this whole plan is ruined.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I would like to like it. I have not played it, so full disclosure.
Yep.
But that was my first ooh, maybe I'll just play MCP.
Oh. Yeah, plus the models in MCP are just sick.
Oh, they're amazing.
Like, who doesn't like superheroes?
Even I like superheroes. I'm still painting brown.
Well, I'm still shaving mold lines.
Oh, fair enough.
So, like, all of us have to eat our vegetables sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh. Man.
I think we're getting somewhere here.
Yeah, let's see. I do want to play the new Warcry. I have not played Warcry since first edition. And it was fine. It was fun. Oh. Dude, it looks amazing. Yeah. It's like a true scale Grey Knight Terminator.
And then the back. There's like a little gap. I might just leave that, honestly.
I think it's fine.
Like,
where?
Yeah, it's like tiny little gap.
No, it's like nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. That looks awesome.
I could should probably clean this up a little bit.
Well, I'm also playing Warcraft too, Willow. That's the thing this week.
Yeah, this nerd showed us pictures today of a boss that he hasn't killed yet. He's like, this is the boss, I'm gonna go. And he took a picture of his monitor with his phone.
I was like,
he's like, this is the mushroom boss.
Screenshot. And, I do that all day, man. I don't want to have to deal with more clicks.
Nerd.
That's the only reason I haven't spent the extra $30 to play Space Marine early.
Oh, I'm playing it tonight.
I know. Well, you had to. You bought it you pre-ordered it?
I bought it as soon as it went up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was waiting for it last year. And then they didn't come out with the last year, and it was like, as soon as this goes onto the market, I'm buying. I already know, there's no reason for me to not pre-order it when I know I'm going to buy it anyway.
Yeah, for sure. No,
if I'm buying it anyways, what's the difference?
I totally support that.
I mean, I just spent the extra money to play it 4 days early. Questionable decisions? Maybe. Who knows? But
What color do you think I should do his bracers?
His bracers?
They're like leather bracers. They're more like what's the word? I don't know. He's like in a Christian rock band.
Armbands.
Yeah.
Bracelets. Armlets? Arm rings.
Armlets?
You have like anklets, right? So
Anklets.
Would it be like a wristlet?
A wristlet? Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, what do you think?
What do I think? My initial thought would be like black.
Mm-hmm.
And then just have the ropes tying it be like an off-white or something.
Yeah, that's true. I probably need that contrast, huh?
Yeah.
And I can differentiate it from the armor.
Yeah, you do it more with like brown to highlight as a leather as opposed to the gray.
Okay. I like that. We'll do that. I have this like horrible idea. So my maggotkin, our Carnival of Chaos, right?
Uh-huh.
And he just looks, he looks so carnival-y. Like I can imagine doing face paint on him.
Killer Clowns from Space.
Yeah.
That's his face.
And having like little circus banners and stuff. But it's like, that's a pretty different
like Pennywise.
Pennywise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do it. No, but I want to do like, I always forget the guy's name. The guy in Spawn with the face makeup, the clown guy.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Oh, why can't I
It's
think
like,
of his name? I know who you're
violence or something.
No.
Stab man.
He has like the blue face paint
Yep.
on him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Violator.
Violator,
yeah. No, not Lobo, but Lobo is also great.
Lobo's also great.
So like doing that on him would be pretty sick. But then it's like, when I'm not playing with my Maggiekin, you're just like, oh, here's the circus grading one.
I think you should do Killer Clowns from Space.
Yes.
I used to think that movie was scary when I was a kid.
I mean, it probably was scary as a kid.
Yeah. I was not a brave kid.
No.
No, not at all. I mean, I still don't watch scary movies, but not because I'm afraid of them. I just don't get the enjoyment out of them.
Oh, interesting. So, for the longest time, I thought I didn't like scary movies because of my relationship with them as a kid. Like, I didn't like it. It was scary. It's bad experiences, whatever, you know. But then, like a few years ago, I started watching them. I would see things that were like adjacent to them, like horror adjacent. And I was like, do I like horror movies? I don't like all horror movies, but I do actually. I like the like spooky, haunty, like witchy, ghosty kind of ones.
The mystery stuff, like I'm okay with if it has like weird kind of like those kind of vibes. But if it's just like pure horror, like I don't really care about it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But Jackie loves scary movies, and she's like, "Oh, let's watch the scary movie." And like when I was in high school, or when we were in high school, because we started dating in high school.
Yeah.
The first movie that we ever watched was a scary movie, and we went to the theaters and we watched a scary movie.
Same with us.
And I told her like before, I was like, "Oh, I'm not really into scary movies," and then she's like, "Okay, it's fine. We'll just go watch this one." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And I was like, still trying to impress her, whatever. So we went and we saw this movie, and I was like, "I hate this," and I never forget it.
That's too funny.
And we haven't been back since. So I watched a scary movie.
That was our very first date. We watched so I went to school in UC San Diego, and on campus we had like a movie theater, like a little one, and they were doing this screening of this Japanese horror movie called House. It's really weird. It's a Japanese horror movie from some years ago, and it was really weird and really strange. But the important thing is, like, when you're watching a scary movie, if someone gets scared, you gotta hold hands. So you know. It's that's the deal.
That's the rules, yeah.
That's the rules. So when I got scared, I held Mel's hand.
So just the whole time.
I'm like all sweaty, grasping it. But also
so
same
clammy.
So, ew, I'm scared. Hold me. But yeah, that was a weird movie.
My brother, when I was like a sophomore in high school, actually freshman. I was a freshman because my brother was a senior and I was a freshman. We went and saw.
Brother's older than you?
Yeah, he's just shorter.
That's so weird. Yeah, it's the shortness. That's the thing.
Actually, when was this?
He does have more facial hair though.
He does, yeah. I'm sad.
That's the giveaway.
Yep.
You'll get there.
It might not actually been my freshman year. I don't remember what it was. Either way, it was like whenever the Evil Dead movie had, like the new one came out.
Oh.
And I had no desire to go see it. I was like, I'm not going to go see it. But our friend group, like we all had the same friends because we wrestled together, like everything, you know? So all of my siblings shared the same friend group, which is probably not good for me because I was the youngest. Like, and I was with a lot of older people.
Yeah.
But anyways, we went and saw The Evil Dead, and oh my god, that movie is just gruesome to be gruesome. It has no reason to be that. And I was just like, this is not.
That's very
how
true.
do you enjoy this?
That was my experience with Shaun of the Dead. You know, like there's a tipping point in the movie where you're just like, why? Like it's a comedy horror, right? But it's still, I was just like, oh my god, I'm like, this is too much. You know? So if that's your thing, that's fine.
Like I don't mind like blood and gore and stuff, but that movie, I was just like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a thing, you know, it's a genre.
Like there's, I'm not going to describe it because it was like scarring, like during the movie.
Right.
The thing happens during the movie, and it's just like the most grotesque thing. It's
Oh my
like,
god.
like freaked me the heck out.
But what about you, chat? You like
Chat loves scary movies.
scary movies? The chat as a concept loves scary movies. I believe that.
Evil Dead the musical is coming to town. There's a splash zone? Nah. Ain't no
Oh yeah.
a splash zone for what? They're gonna dump pig blood on you? Or
Yeah, it's like all the blood and gore. Like you have to wear.
But it's not real.
Well, no.
Look, people probably do that. Like with
Oh
animal,
yeah.
with animal blood. or
Probably
something.
true. Yeah. Although these days,
Yeah, maybe.
some of the safety codes.
Just don't get caught.
Yeah, don't get caught with kid's blood.
Kids blood?
Pig's blood.
Wait a minute.
Oh no, canceled. That's it. We're done.
All right, wrap it up. Time to go home.
That's funny because I actually haven't thought or heard of Evil Dead musical since I was in high school. I had a friend that was super into it. But yeah, they're like, we're gonna be in the splash zone. Like, have fun.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense though. I'm not into that, so why would I know that?
Right. Shane says, I like good scary movies. Most of them are just cheap and quickly made, really easy to fall apart. When you have a good scary movie, that stays with you. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, one of the tough things about horror is like how information gets released, because so much of it is just mystery, right? And once they explain it or over-explain it, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I get it now. I'm over it.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's always
It's like Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. Someone did mention Scooby-Doo.
Probably me.
Matthew Powell.
Matthew Powell
I'm not
mentioned
surprised.
Scooby-Doo.
Has anyone watched the 2012 Scooby-Doo TV series recently? I've never had the pleasure.
Oh, chat mentioned Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. And I shooketh by plot in my Spooky Kids show. Wow. No, I did not.
Nope.
Paranormal Activity 1. Oh, man. That's when we were in high school. That was like that kind of
Yeah.
time period. I'm not super into those ones. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I was either.
That was all that kind of gimmicky kind of thing, in my opinion. Paranormal Activity,
Yeah, it's supposed to
Cloverdale.
like the real ghost stories, and it's like, well, it's obviously not, but
Yeah. Like, it's important in like a film perspective, I guess, the same way that like Blair Witch Project is important from a film perspective, but I'm not like, I don't enjoy watching that. I'm like, oh, I'm so interested, you know?
yeah, I agree.
Cool. It's coming together. He looks so metal now. He's totally in a band. He's like, yeah, that's right. I'm in a band. I'm pretty cool. Ziljan. Oh, man.
Wait,
Yeah, they're definitely spooky for sure. That's why I can have an appreciation of them from a film perspective, but you know.
I just cut off the wrong hand.
Cut off what?
I cut off the hand that I thought would work, and now I'm realizing it's actually not going to work.
Oh no.
So I think I just do an open hand question mark. Or let's do a fist.
Thank you, Matthew Powell, for the super chat. They say in New Zealand, an Auckland high school did a Sweeney Todd musical, but took method acting too far. Oh my God! 2 kids later, the knife was taken away, and the police called. Oh my God, that's deeply concerning.
What?
Method acting. Well, I hope everyone was okay. That sounds horrific.
Yeah, for real.
Wow. Well, in other news, Thomas has a great question. Any tips on plasma glow? Trying it for the first time on some Blood Angel Inceptors using the dry brush method of 2 layers over a base, but it's not really popping for me.
Yeah, I have many thoughts on this. Before I jump in, do you want to have any thoughts?
No, go for it.
So when you do stuff like OSL, the reason that the effect works is because you have extreme contrast.
Yes.
Whenever you have a light source, right? So if you look at the lights here that we have, right? So if you look at my hand here, that's actually a bad example. Like my hand here versus my hand here, right? You see the extreme difference in the value that's on my hand.
Yeah.
Because the light source that is being applied to whatever the object is needs to be a much higher value in order to read as a light source.
Right.
So oftentimes when you see an OSL that doesn't sell the effect, it's because the value is either too similar to whatever it's on, or the contrast between your dark values and your light values aren't enough. So you can either do one of two things. You can make your dark values darker, or you can try to make your light values lighter. I will say though, oftentimes what you want to do before you start going into the most extreme is to get the rest of the stuff out of the way. So oftentimes what I will lean into is trying to make the things darker before I go brighter. Because the darker something is, the brighter the things next to it seem.
Right.
So if you just are at, let's say if you're in a grayscale, right, and you have white and you have off-white. The white is technically brighter than the off-white, but because the off-white is still very bright, you're not going to get a good effect. So you want to bring that off-white down to like a really dark gray or something. So that way the white seems like it's infinitely more bright than it actually is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does.
So your values are super, super, super important when you do OSL, and also the source of the light is very, very important as well. So you need to pick a point for the glow to originate from. So if you're doing plasma coils, for example, all of the recesses are where the glow would come from, and then everything on top is at the darker value. So the inside is the brightest because that should be the hottest or the most concentrated form of light, and then the outside where the light isn't hitting directly is the darker value.
Yep.
So just try to keep that in mind. I know that's like a little bit higher painting theory kind of thing, but OSL I think is one of those things where you kind of have to understand the light values and the contrast in order to make the effect work.
Absolutely, and I think people, rightfully so, can try to be a bit too timid sometimes. They're worried about, I guess, trying to get fancy with it, right? Sometimes when you see OSL fail, it's because they wanted it to be a little bit more subtle, but you do need to make sure you still keep that contrast.
Yep.
You know, and with your dry brushing, just keep in mind what Brian's saying about like having the center of it, the core of it, really being the brightest point. So you might want to just like almost want to have like pure concentrated white in those like deepest like portions of it. And that way, when you kind of put your layer over it, it's going to be the brightest. But if you don't be afraid to go super bright. Like if you watch, we're talking about El Miniaturista, who's like known for doing this kind of style. Yeah. He will like paint, and then when he goes to do the next layer of OSL, he'll take like basically pure white and block out the brightest portions.
Yep.
It gets brought down obviously with the color he puts on top, but it's like it makes sure that you have the brightest possible base to work off of. So don't be afraid of that.
It's very, very important in that regard. And also, if you can use fluorescence, even just as your base layer, I would say start with the fluorescent, because those values, not only are they generally a very high value, but they're also extremely saturated. And that's kind of what you want. The more desaturated you get, the less like a light source it looks.
Yeah.
Because light sources are, generally speaking, vibrant sources, or vibrant values, I should say.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Totally. Hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah. OSL stands for Object Source Lighting, Shane.
Relative dynamic range. Oh, all right, let's see. I'm not going to worry about the sword because I'm not running the sword on
the swords.
The swords. I think I will end up doing a bit of an airbrush fade on the branches. So I'm going to leave those there.
It's going to be way easier to do that. Just to hit the tips off the branches.
Just like a kind of thing.
Definitely.
So I'm going to leave those there for now, but I'm happy where that is. I want to have some fun with the face, honestly. I need to do like tongue, mouth, teeth kind of thing. Yeah, we're going to do that.
Nice. Question is, do I put any of these weird little skull caps on them?
Ooh, tough call.
I think the answer is almost exclusively no.
Wow!
Actually, almost absolutely not.
Like, they're goofy, but they are cool.
They are something.
Just goofy.
Grey Knight's helmets are so sick.
They are.
They're so cool. I love these helmets.
They're so knightly.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, why people really like the Indominus stuff so much, because it was like return to kind of like knightly looks on them.
Yeah.
Like Mel puts Blade Guard helmets on everything, unless it's a wolf head.
And then it's just a wolf head.
That's just a wolf head.
Yeah.
I think, funny enough, she took her Blade Guard helmets and put them on other things, like her Terminators, because she hates Terminator helmets. But then her Blade Guard actually just have wolf heads, so they look really freaky. They're like, they're like hybrid creatures, like man wolves. It's awesome. Oh, Digital. Digital says, Brian, are you magnetizing the wrists for the different weapon options?
No. My philosophy on magnetizing stuff is don't. Because it's usually, the juice is never worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
Especially when you have to keep track of all of it. You have to
Right.
now like try to find a way to magnetize it to make it work.
Yeah.
My opinion is just buy them again. If you want to, just buy them again or break off the things that you don't want on there and
That's
just
what
put
I
the
do.
new one on.
Yep.
I am not a magnetizer, and I probably will never be. I used to try. I used to actually pin stuff and try to like all my Eldar is pinned currently.
Oh, okay. You don't? Are you not pinning anymore?
They're all still pinned. It's
Yeah.
just all the extra weapons aren't painted.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's just too much work. I have to paint them all to keep track of them to make sure that the paint doesn't get messed up while they're being stored in like a bag. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's no. I'm
That's
not doing
true.
that. Like I've moved on in my life. My philosophy is just do it again.
Digital is obsessed with magnetizing. That man will magnetize anything. His shoelaces are probably magnetized. That's a good idea, actually. You imagine he's like. I feel like Lindsay would magnetize her shoelaces.
Yeah, 40 magnetized strikes. Digital. We gotta have a conversation.
You're a madman.
I built 10, and I was like, maybe they'll get to use a hammer again, so I'll build one with a hammer. The flamers are good now, so I'll use the flamers. If they're not good, whatever, I'll just
Whatever.
figure it out later. That's future Brian problems.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, Adrian.
Brian.
I built the Terminator.
You did it.
I did it.
What do you think?
I'm pretty happy with it. I think I want more of these little tabards.
Yeah? Yeah, I think so.
Because I think it really helps to kind of fill the emptiness of the legs.
He looks so sick.
But
Oh my
I
god.
don't have any more tabards in this kit.
Because that came from that box? Yeah, because he?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's like a big boy Terminator.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this.
It looks great. Yeah, you need to print some tabards.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I have any. I don't think so.
I don't think I do either.
You don't have any Dire Venture tabards?
Actually, do funny enough.
You might. There might be a little bit. They're more like bikinis on these
They
guys.
are more like bikinis. Yeah. It's more like a Princess Leia kind of loincloth.
Oh,
type
it
deal.
is. Yeah. I'm into it.
Let me see if I can find any bits to add to this to make it a little more Grey Knights-esque.
Yeah.
Because I'm not using, the only problem with not using legs is I lose out on all of this cool,
Yeah, the filigree
filigree
things.
on them.
Yeah.
So, let's see if I can find more things.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. All right.
There's a lot of purity suits. Oh, the little books.
Little Bix.
Do
Oh, yeah.
Brotherhood Terminators have the books, or is that only Paladins?
I feel like everyone reads. But if you ask me the
only
difference,
Paladins have books on their
oh,
heads.
excuse me,
So, sorry, these ones can't have books.
not
Because
allowed.
They're not allowed to.
That's what the book says.
It's in the book.
I'm on the side of the rules.
Technically right is the best form of right.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I just adapt some of these books to be on their hips or something.
Well, where do they go normally?
On their heads.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they have the weird little.
Oh, and they're
No.
stabbed with a sword, some of them?
Yeah.
It's so weird. I always thought that was strange.
So I think maybe I just take some of this extra book stuff and put it on their hips
Yeah, I think that's great.
to add a little bit of detail to the legs.
Yep. Absolutely. This guy's so gross. Book should go on all
Wait,
of
the
them.
helmets are different? Did I just put the wrong helmet on?
Uh-oh.
Oh. Wait, what's different in the helmets?
You only get skull caps for the brothers.
Oh no. Well, I guess I'm not having any of them.
If you survive, then you get a helmet.
Wait, there's only 2 skull caps. Hang on, how are the helmets different? What am I looking
No,
at?
no, I was joking.
No, but Digital said the helmets are different. Wait. Where did I see this? Paladins have the pointy bit up. What? Paladins have the pointy bit up? What does that mean?
Pointy bit up. You're supposed to put the pointy bit in your enemy.
Yes. I don't know what that means, Digital. I'm so confused. On the nose of the helmet? Oh, like this little thing here? Is that what this? Like they face up?
The other ones go down? They're like beakies?
They're just straight.
Just do the rhino heads.
They're all rhino heads.
No, these guys.
Oh, gross.
That's a rhino head.
Ew.
Let me see. Hold on.
Ew. Those ones are gross.
I like them.
Yeah, well, it's because they're nostalgic, but they're not good.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like a couple of them like have an angle up, and then the other ones are just like straight.
Oh,
I did use the correct one in that instance.
I've never realized that.
I accidentally put the one that's just like
What?
straight lines.
Oh my god. Red Baron for cheese. So I ended up using weapons to differentiate the squads for GK. Oh, that's smart too, because it's all the same now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
It's like, did you know that? Well, never, they don't exist anymore. Celestines have different helmets than regular Battle Sisters.
Celestines?
Yeah. So you've never even played with them.
No.
They're like the elite Battle Sisters.
Not to be confused with Celestine.
Correct.
Yep.
I think I'm getting the right name. So the
Celestials. Celestines. Sacrosaints.
Well, so the Sacrosaints are those ones, whatever it is. Yep. So there used to be like, there's like a regular one with bolter and stuff, and then they introduced the ones with the shields and halberds, and then they just got rid of the other ones. Yeah, okay. So am I saying the right word, Melody? But yeah, they have like the little floral on the
I like how we always go to Melody for confirmation.
Yeah. Well, you know what? She knows a lot of things
She just knows
about
everything.
all things. There are a few people in this world who are as obsessed with Warhammer as us, but she's one of them. So, yeah, I thought it was kind of sad that they got rid of them, because the current kit actually still has the differentiators. They just didn't bring it over to this edition. Oh!
Did you break it?
No, it was very close. I almost put purple everywhere.
Just like the orange.
Just like the orange. Yeah, I found a bunch of orange splatter on this model when I went back to paint it. I don't know when it happened. It's fine.
Paul Hitchcock has a question.
Okay.
Hello, I just joined, so sorry if this has been asked.
Hey, no worries.
Any advice for colorblind painting? I struggle with different color of the same shade or color, red, green, pink, purple, all blend together.
Great question.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
Oh, we've talked about this a few times in the past, but I'm trying to remember. We had talked with the community actually to get some ideas.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember what we came up with.
I think the first thing that we had was value, right? If you can differentiate the values,
right?
that might be a good starting point. So like, obviously, black has a different value than white. Dark red will have a different value than like a pink or something.
Right.
So if you can identify values inside of colors.
In Winter Minis? Yeah, he is actually, yeah.
I didn't know that.
But the values is a good point, right? When we say values, we're talking about light versus dark, and we also talk about contrast a lot. Those are probably the two big things we talk about. They're kind of the same thing. And that is going to be almost, I'll say something maybe a little controversial. I almost think that's more important than the colors that you pick.
I agree.
Like you can have a great monocolor model as long as you have good values and contrast and things like that. So pick it you can stick within a range of colors that you are able to like process and you feel good about, and then just focus on those kind of values essentially. And that's going to be true regardless of what colors that you pick. So deep, darks, bright, light brights.
Light bright.
It sounds silly, but it's so important. And a lot of the times when we just paint models without thinking about it, they can end up very flat. And so that contrast is the #1 thing you can do, regardless of the colors that you pick.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Apparently, Midwinter does talk about it in the video and has some suggestions.
Yeah. I've never really attempted to paint, because like I know there are people that have done, like they put like the colorblind glasses on and done like painting challenges and things like that.
Right.
So I think that could be interesting to try to figure something out like that. But I haven't done anything in that nature. So all of my recommendations will just be try to take painting and deconstruct it as much as you can, and then kind of build your building blocks based off of what you're able to do. Yeah. Which sounds like very generic information, and I apologize for that.
Yeah.
But again, going back to like the values and stuff, or if you have somebody that can identify colors for you, and be like, these are like the blue colors, and then just have them separated from like all the other colors, and then from there you can determine value from that, right? Or if you can have somebody else help you, like, hey, this is your darkest blue, this is your lightest blue, or what colors did they say?
It's like red and green, right?
Yeah, red, green, pink, purple.
Pink, yeah.
Yeah, so if you can have those colors and have somebody identify them for you, like this is like your darkest value and this is your lightest value, or like Army Painter, for example, they have on all the sides of their bottles like where in each color progression that it lies.
That's
So
cool.
there's like a 6-step color progression, and then like, oh, this is the second darkest, or this is like the second lightest, or whatever.
Yeah.
So potentially working with a paint brand that like that will help as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you are into changing, I don't know if like what paint brand you use, obviously, but all their new stuff, the Fanatic range, all has that on there.
Yeah, it's great for accessibility, honestly, from many perspectives. The good thing about painting is there are rules, I guess I'll say. You're allowed to break them, but there are rules, and you can kind of follow just good advice and color wheels and things like that.
Yeah.
So the execution is the tougher part. If you wanted to go into one of these colors where differentiating them becomes difficult, so that's the only thing I'd be wary of. But like, yeah, following those rules will help a lot. Frankly, sometimes like even if you're not colorblind, looking back at those rules can help when you're like, I'm not sure, is this tasteful? Does this look good? Well, there's a reason that those color triads exist.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
They just work.
It's what us humans like.
Yep.
So. All right. Bronze. I love this bronze.
What? 41? Where's 41? I hate how they don't ever put anything next to each other. You'd think like
Yeah.
2024, we would have figured it out.
Well, the thing is because they're all made parametrically.
Yeah, I know.
But here's the thing. Put the pieces parametrically, sure, so that a model might be spread out. But then don't spread out the numbers.
Yes. Oh my. Yes.
Like I was building, again, flash kits, which is a horrible kit to build. And it's like the numbers aren't even next to each other. So like, what's the purpose? There's no like linear progression, so finding them, you might as well be just looking for the piece itself.
Yeah, and that's assuming the numbers are even correct.
Yeah, well, yeah,
On
that's
the
also
sprue.
true. Yeah, I run into that.
Like 48 is not next to, I'm looking for 48, and it's not on this sprue where all the other pieces were.
Exactly.
But there's an 8, which leads me to believe that 8 is the one that I'm looking for.
Oh, no.
But it's definitely not. Right? They wouldn't do that.
I mean, 95% of the time, it is there. So I would just triple check, because like, I don't know if you've ever done it, where I'm like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this, and then you would just miss the part. Like, I have found it where it legitimately is in the wrong spot, or it doesn't exist, but most of the time it's there. And then you knew that other part later on.
See, 48's on a different sprue.
See? See?
So annoying.
Thank you to OG Geldy for the 1 gifted Tabletop Titans membership, and welcome,
thank you.
David Perro. Thanks so much. Paul says, okay, certain brands might have the RGB values on them. Thank you so much. I'm new to painting and trying a squad of Terminators and just don't want them to look silly with colors. Thank you. No problem. Hope that's helpful.
Yeah, I hope so. Army Painter's really good at that kind of stuff. The new Fanatics range, they have all that stuff on the side of the bottles. So
Yeah.
definitely look out for those.
They're very cool.
And it also will help you organize the paints too. If you don't have to like do it
Yep.
based off of the way that you see the color, if you can just know that this is what it's supposed to be, I think that'll help a lot.
Yeah, I really want to try their paints specifically for that reason, like because of how they're organized. I think it's very exciting for painters of all levels to be able to like you're constantly looking, okay, here's my mid-tone, what's like a brighter and darker version? A lot of times it doesn't exist. So it's nice that they just are really organized about that stuff. So big fan.
Oh, they have little hip flaps. I didn't have the hip flaps.
The hip flaps, oh, they do have hip flaps.
Dang it. I'm going to
is
find
true.
hip flaps.
A number letter like Gundam kits too, yeah. And yeah, you are correct, Astron. I think it was Indominus. They've done like letter and number combos sometimes. I think a lot of the starter kits do that. Yeah, I was building flash kits when I was in Maryland, and I think it took me like 45 minutes per guy. Every gun. I mean, it's great.
It's like 50 pieces.
Yeah, because you build the whole thing. You get the stock.
Yep.
You put the 2 kind of core parts of the stock. You do the muzzle. You do the, I don't know, the bottom, which could be a stand or a chainsaw or another gun. You do the like exhaust in the back, the paneling. That's just for the gun.
It's too much.
It's a great and terrible kit.
That's just too much. Like I built flash kits for
Yep.
my org army, and I was like, I hate this.
It's horrible.
And I built no more than 5.
So I have 10. I want to have 30. So Yeah.
Rip, dude.
They're just so cool. Pirate orcs.
Pirate orcs are cool. I
love
agree.
pirate
But
orcs.
the process to get them on the table is not cool.
Yeah, that's fair. Man, they were so wild this weekend. Everyone loves flash kits. They're like, oh, they're so good. They have so many shots. They do all this stuff. I can never get their shooting to really pop off. But in Warhorde, man, when you charge in with 50 sustained attacks at strength 5.
Yeah, and they're still knobs, too.
They're still knobs. And I'm like, everyone underestimates them. They're like, ah, they're the shooting unit. I'm like, let's go.
It's like, yeah, they shoot, but watch these punches, too.
They fight, too. It's just so many attacks. And then you do sustained on 5s.
Yep.
It's nuts. So, yeah.
Oh, stand on 5, too, yeah.
Yep. 50 attacks, sustained 5, strength 6.
That's crazy.
Awesome. And if you're near Gaz, you can get lethal. Sorry, Makari.
Yeah, not Gaz.
Not Gaz, specifically Makari.
Put some respect on Makari.
I know, dude. Makari's...
He's no joke.
He's no joke. He's the luckiest grot.
The luckiest little get. 40. Where's piece 40?
4D?
4D. Just gotta remember what sprues everything is clipped off of.
What's up, Sarlacc Pit? Painting's going great. We're hanging out. I'm working on my Great and Clean one. And Brian, actually, not painting.
Not painting. I know, that's crazy.
What are you working on, Brian?
I am kit bashing some Grey Knights Terminators out of the Grey Knights Terminators kit and the new Terminators kit. So I'm trying to make like an upscaled Terminator. So this is my first one that I did.
It's so good.
Yeah. Honestly, these look way better than they look way better.
Yeah. Like the current ones
Like
are
not
fine,
to toot my own horn here.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They look pretty good.
You just got to do that across all of them now.
Oh god, I only have to do 15 of them, right?
Yeah, because you're just going to start with like what your current list is, right?
Yeah, currently my list is actually 10 Terminators.
Well, hey, sometime in the year 2025, you'll get an Eldar book.
And I'll start playing Grey Knights. It's crazy.
Crazy. I know.
Oh, I cannot wait for that book.
I'm so curious and scared.
I have a lot of thoughts on what I don't want it to be.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of thoughts on what I would like it to be. But I know that it's going to be a mix of both and just fail on both of them. Like it won't live up to what I want it to be and it will just be everything I don't want.
Right. I just want to play my Harlequins, man.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
I would be so happy.
Yeah, well, we won't be.
I almost wish, I understand why, like, some of the changes aren't in effect until the Codex, but I almost wish they had just ripped the Band-Aid off, you know, like the Death Watch thing. And if they really are going to get rid of Harlequins, I wish they just ripped it off, yeah.
Yeah, because you know what the worst part about it is? They're still selling all that stuff.
For sure.
So if somebody didn't know, right, if they couldn't read the writing on the wall because they're new to the game or whatever, they're still selling all this stuff, and then for them to be like, oh, also, by the way, you can't use these anymore.
It's concerning.
Or like, here's your super limited range of models that you're allowed to pull from, which no longer includes the characters or whatever, right? Here, you can have a unit of troops. There you go. Good job.
Exactly.
And that is not going to feel great.
We know the books go, every other book is good, and the other is bad. Oh, interesting. It's been somewhat true.
Yeah, technically, I agree.
Orcs were great. Custodians were terrible. Sisters were great. GSC were terrible.
Imperial agents.
Terrible.
Great. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Great. Which means the next one's going to be
Blood
horrible.
Angels is the next one.
Okay.
Way better than Imperial.
Way better. They totally get the army.
Yeah.
Okay. Which means
we don't know which one the next one
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but hopefully Knights is the first one. Look, the Guard can't. We can't give Guard a bad book, and we certainly can't give Eldar a bad book.
Well,
but one of them is gonna have to.
Guard.
Guard.
Guard better be bad. If I had to choose between Guard and Eldar, Guard better be bad.
Yeah.
Because they will buff Guard.
Yeah.
They will not buff Eldar.
No, you don't. The Eldar don't deserve it.
Exactly. So like, if they make Eldar strong, they'll nerf it.
Right.
And then it'll go to like a more balanced place for the game.
Yeah.
If they make it too weak, they're gonna leave it.
Yeah.
Because nobody's gonna care enough to want Eldar to be buffed.
That's true. That's true.
So if they're gonna make one of them weak, it's gonna be Guard. Or at least I hope it's Guard. Because they will fix it.
Well, here, I want to talk about that because we mentioned Sisters as a, quote, good book.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good book, actually. I think it's a very strong book, but personally, again, I haven't played it. You played it. It doesn't quite scratch all the Sisters itches that I would have wanted. It just feels like a strong book, but not necessarily like the most flavorful. I don't know. I feel like I've seen better ones as far as sisters go.
Yeah, definitely. I think the penitent detachment is really cool.
Yeah.
Very flavorful.
Love that.
It's not particularly strong, I would say. It has play, obviously, but it's not, like Bringers of Flame is just better in every way because it plays mechanical Warhammer better versus something that's a little bit more thematic. Like the Death Company detachment, for example.
Right.
The more you're hurt, the better they get. Thematic.
They're all tied to these downsides.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, with the Sisters Codex, it's just obvious power with no real flavor, especially because, like, it's only one detachment that you see, really. It's the Bringers of Flame. Like, you don't see anything else. You see Advance and Shoot, because that's very strong in this edition. You see the Flamer with Dev Wounds. Again, very strong in this edition.
Totally.
The extra strength on all of your guns while you get to advance. Very strong.
Very
so
strong.
Hand Flamers are now strength 5, which is insane. You can add the extra AP, which again you need, and it will always cover. Like, it just plays mechanical Warhammer very well. It is good at playing the game fundamentally, right? As opposed to some of these other detachments where you have to work harder to play the game to get more flavorful rules that are just worse.
Yeah.
So I agree that it is a very strong book, but it's not like, I wouldn't say it's all that interesting.
I'm not inspired. I think the GSC book is it's a weaker book, obviously, but I actually like a lot of the flavor a lot more. There they actually did some interesting things within the detachments. So yeah, they just go for generic good rules, exactly. Yeah. Shane has an interesting point, which he says in the graphic, they are presented linearly. So he's thinking it is that order of, what do you say, Guard, Eldar, Imperial Knights. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it's an interesting theory.
Well, that just means Guard gets the first book and it's going to be bad.
Right.
Eldar gets the strong book.
Yeah.
And we're back to what I said.
Exactly, and that's what Shane said.
I'm on board for this.
But the thing is, like, if you look at the graphic, if we want to get like tinfoil hat on this, the graphic, so it's going down at this point in the timeline. So linearly it'd have to be vertical, but it's all horizontal, which sort of suggests they're on the same field, which is to say it could be any order.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to interpret that. But again, I'm just BSing here. And then Digital had mentioned someone went 7-0 with GSC last weekend.
Yeah, somebody took down a major with GSC.
Ines. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I think they can go the distance. The good thing about the game right now is I think anyone, except for Imperial Agents, can go the distance.
I like that caveat.
I'll go. Maybe they could do it. But like pretty much anyone can punch up, honestly. So it's very possible.
But some people can only punch down.
Yeah.
And there's no one below Imperial Agents.
No.
So
not even orcs.
Not even orcs.
Yeah. It's a shame that GSC's army rule is unfun for both players. Yes, it is.
What's up?
The GSC army rule, the blips coming back, unfun for both players. It's true.
Yeah.
Either you're GSC and you fail it and you're sad, or you succeed and then your opponent's sad because they kill, no spoilers, they kill units and they keep coming back. Agree.
And then they get secondaries associated with killing those units that they've already done, but they can't score anymore.
Yeah, look, non-specific example.
Very non-specific.
Check out today's game. I do love the update to Colt Ambush, being able to put things in reserve. That was a huge. If I didn't have that,
Rip.
Yeah. All right, folks, we've got 25 minutes in the stream. We've got 10 minutes until we're going to do the community corner, taking a look at things from Discord in our hobby progress section, and also special kind of discussion and shout out to Nova Hobby, stuff like that. So,
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
I got to see all the stuff from Nova.
Right? I wish I took more photos, and we said this at Adventicon. I wish there's a central repository with all the participants of the paint competition.
Yep.
Would have been cool.
Also, for Adepticon too, there was a ton of painting competitions I didn't know existed.
Oh, really?
Like Creature Caster had one. I knew about that one because I entered it. But Creature Caster had one, which is also paired with, the company that makes the dinosaur models. We have some here.
Dinosaur models?
Yeah, they have like dinosaur Conquest.
Conquest. Yeah. Parabellum.
Parabellum, yeah. So they were like partnered with Parabellum for their painting contest.
That's
They
cool.
had Atomic Mass had theirs for like Star Wars and MCP and all that kind of stuff. There's a bunch of like just random things that I just didn't know existed. But there was no, like you're saying, there's no centralized or repository for all that stuff.
Exactly. So I would love for a better way to organize that and see it and show it off after the fact. Like, I think Capital Palette did a. They just give trophies, which is good. Meaning like, there's like certain levels. If you hit the level, then you get the medal. Basically, it's not like because one person succeeded, another person had to fail.
Yeah, it was an open category,
which is cool.
Or an open system.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah. So open is just like if you're good enough to get gold, you get gold. If you're good enough to get silver, you get silver, regardless of however many have been given out.
Yeah.
Which I'm a fan of that.
I think it's great. There's no reason to.
Yeah, because
competition being is already weird.
Yes, competitive art is a strange thing. And then when you make it, so you're competing against other people, and like you can get a podium where it's first, second, third.
Yeah.
It's very strange. It's a very strange place to be.
Yeah.
So that's why the Golden Demon can kind of. In previous years, I haven't experienced it personally, and when I went to AdeptCon last year, I didn't experience it. But I know people have experienced toxicity within the community because you're not looking at the art to judge it for what it is, you're judging it for what it isn't, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, well, this thing can't win because X, Y, Z. Well, I know this thing won't win because X, Y, Z, as opposed to be like, look at this really cool thing that this person did, this really cool idea that they had. Instead of celebrating the piece, you're nitpicking it and tearing it down, right? You're tearing it apart.
It's just not the right attitude to have.
Exactly. That's I feel like a really big reason for people to not go to those types of events.
For sure.
Because it's kind of not a good environment to be in.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't experience that this last year. I didn't hear any of that when I was walking around the cases, and I walked around the cases many, many times. But it definitely does happen for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if it's like quietly, to you and your friend.
Yeah, you just feel it.
It just happens, right?
Yeah.
Or like even subconsciously, you look at it and you're like, well, that's not gonna.
I think it's a good discussion to have around like what kind of culture do you want to encourage and have, and like we're just trying to grow as a community and help support each other and artists and things like that. So competition's fun. We both like it, but you got to make sure you're doing it in the right way and for the right reasons.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. Sarlacc Pit, great question. Was asking with the new guard book, do we think they'll stick with the 3 to 4 detachments?
I don't think so. I think guard will probably have a couple more.
I was gonna say at least that many, but probably more.
Yeah. So it seems to me, and the reason I'm going to say this is because we have Dark Angels now and Blood Angels. It seems to me like the Space Marine supplements are going to be 3 detachments. Because again, Dark Angels is 3, Blood Angels is 3. It seems to be what they want to do with the supplemental books to the codexes. But anything else, generally speaking, has at least 4.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything that has less than 4.
No, 4 was the smallest.
4 is the smallest outside of the supplements. So I think that's probably what we can expect is minimum 4. Probably like 6, I want to say. 5 or 6 is,
right.
I think, also okay. Because if you look at Chaos Space Marines, they have a ton.
Oh my god, they have 8.
Space Marines have technically like 8 also.
Yeah. Which was already weird.
Yeah, which is very strange. And then you add the supplements on top of it, so now they really have like 8 plus however many supplements are going to come out.
Exactly.
But I think we can definitely expect more than 4. To what extent, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think more than 4 is something I would expect. Because you have like your Cadian themed, you have Deathcore. They've confirmed plastic Deathcore, right?
Well, we have Deathcore.
No, but they've confirmed like new stuff for Deathcore Krieg.
Oh, really? I missed that. Oh my god. What?
And I think that's coming out next year or something. So we probably expect a detachment following surrounding that stuff.
I can see that.
So I mean, there's only a lot of options like catechins. If they want to do catechins, they could do something with that.
Don't tease me.
Because those models are horrendously old.
They are.
And look terrible.
They do. They look horrible. They look like monkey people.
Yeah.
The new hero sculpts look amazing.
Yes, I think they have a lot of potential things they could do. Now, what they choose to do, I obviously could not tell you, but
yeah,
I think 5, 6 is reasonable to expect.
And they can do, Sarlacc Pet mentioned they could do infantry, mechanized, tank, artillery. I think one thing we've seen, which I'm happy about, is the fact that they are not tying themselves down to only having to do like chapters or regiments and things like that.
Right.
So we could see mixes of them basically, where like for GSC, for example, we did see like Biosanctic Brood Surge is kind of the Twisted Helix, but then you also have like Outrider Claw, which is all bikes and transports, and that doesn't match any of them.
Claw or whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of Rusted Claw. That's true. Yeah. But there's like there's a willingness to kind of mix them up and mesh them a bit more, especially for these factions that maybe function differently than they used to. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll be curious. Artillery-focused attachment, yeah. I think that's what we have now, digital, honestly.
Yeah, that's not good because they changed the way the indirect works.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I think that's fine. That's better for the game. I'd rather have bad indirect than way too strong indirect. Because then the game is just not fun.
Yeah. I still want them to just change the role of indirect. We played GSC today. My artillery was awesome. Did it do a ton of damage? No. But it performed a role.
Yeah.
It picked off things. It provided buffs, debuffs.
Yep.
I think that's what artillery should be doing right now.
Yeah, I agree. It's just the problem is when it gets to what, like with the, what are they called? The t-shirt launchers for the Space Marines.
Yeah, the Desolators.
The Desolators, what they used to be, and they would just pick up an entire army over the course of 3 turns.
That unit should never have been indirect.
No, absolutely not.
It's just like, what?
But that's kind of the GW's problem. It's like, the indirect is either that or it's now what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Before we go into Community Corner, Brian Coleman asked a question. Planning on picking up a Great and Clean one that's been built already, but I want to convert it to a Rotigus. Any tips? Yeah, I think green stuff is going to be your best friend. Green stuff can be hard to use, but organic stuff is going to be the easiest type of thing. That's kind of how I got started with a lot of mine, is just like making little textured patterns and extra buboes and things like that on Nurgle models. So I'd recommend that. If you do get into green stuff, I would say, remember, it's a slow process. You're not going to finish in one night because that's not how green stuff works. Like, you do a bubo, you make a little ball, you set it onto your model, you let that sit, you don't touch that area until the next day where it's completely dried and solidified. And then you maybe want to do like the skin that wraps around it the next day, knowing that you're not going to mess with the stuff you did the night before. So I'd say that. It's great for doing tentacles and things like that. And if you wanted to give them a little Rotigus hood as well, you could do that. So that's really that's what I would do. I'd say if you can, use this as a chance to learn sculpting, learn a bit of green stuff, and it's gonna be more forgiving than like doing Grey Knights or Eldar or something like that.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, ensures your buboes are magnificent. Yes. Grim, let's see if we missed your super chat. Oh, here it is. We did miss you. Thank you, Grim, for the super chat.
Hey.
What do you hope? Oh man, here we go. What do you hope the Emperor's children would focus on? Noise Marines, etc. Aesthetic. Oh, yeah, Noise Marine aesthetic, royal perfection, drugs and substances, erotic, mutating bodies for perfection. Oh man, there's so much they could do with it.
I want them to bring back the focus around like sound.
Yeah.
Like, obviously they have Noise Marines, but like the Sonic Dreadnoughts.
Yep.
And just like whenever they were first introduced in the Fulgrim book in the Heresy during the 30K series.
Yeah.
It was everything that they did was like this disgusting cacophony, right? I want them to go more leaning towards that, where it's more lore, like more kind of rooted in the lore, as opposed to just like, these are the cool Space Marines with weird sound guns, whereas like themselves producing the sound. You know what I mean? Because that's what it was them just making the noise. So I want them to lean into that, yeah. So mutations, I guess, is what I want. Because, what's his name? Bile did all that stuff.
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure. Exactly. Yeah, I would love that. I love... I feel like you used to be able to put sonic weapons on rhinos as well. Like I could see like a rhino equipped with like big old speakers that you come up and you debuff someone with it so they can't overwatch, and the Noise Marines all come out and they're like blasting dubstep and like choir music. That'd be sick.
Choir music.
Yeah, exactly. It's like dubstep choir, like dubstep opera, I imagine. So that. I can see different attachments, like one maybe being about like dueling and like more melee based. One more about different like combat drugs. You can have support units that also grant those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I would love for them to bring back, again, they're like, I forget the name, they're like dueling unit. They're like the swordsmen basically.
Oh, the Phoenix Guard.
Phoenix Guard?
No, Phoenix Guard was Fulgrim's Terminators.
Oh, that is the Terminators, yeah.
I don't know.
Some Horus Heresy buffalo.
They had the 2 swords. That's what I know.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
So cool. Party bus, yep. Because we might have to upgrade their computer to work with Space Marine 2.
Oh no. It's like a console, and then you can't ever blame anybody.
And then T, did we miss your super chat? Let me see.
Did we miss T super chat? We missed Mr. T?
Mr. T. Will this show up? Boop, boop, boop. Wow, this was like a while back.
Oh, this was a while back.
Sorry, guys. I appreciate all the chat. Thank you, T, for the super chat. Well, Brian, at least you didn't buy boxes of Plague Marines, Blight Kings, and Possessed to do some cool-looking Death Card Possessed. Only for GW to squat them. No.
Painful.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that's brutal.
My last army that I made in 7th edition was a full... it was drop pods, termites, and Death Guard bikers. Because that was the thing you would do when you have like toughness 7 bikers.
Yeah.
And then 8th edition dropped with the brand new Death Guard book, Mortarion. I was like, ready. No bikers in the whole army. No Helldrakes. Nothing. I was like, okay. I guess these are orc bikes now.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, T, I bought a bunch of Grot tanks.
That's true.
Right before they got squatted.
Oh, no.
So that sucked. Also, my Squigots.
Oh, that was the worst.
My whole orc
That was
army,
the worst time I've ever seen before.
my whole orc army just got canceled.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I don't need to play this army anymore. It's fine.
Sucks.
It like stopped all my progress.
One day
I'll get back to it. But...
Look, 11th edition is going to be great.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're going to bring Grot tanks back.
Grot tanks back. Plastic Grot kit.
Plastic kit.
Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine if they did that? The outrage.
Oh my god. Right? Just hang on to your models, folks. Palatine blades. That's what it is.
Palatine blades.
All right, folks. Well, with that, let's get to the community corner. Again, this is all from Hobby Progress. It's not a critique section, but again, if people are interested in that, we can talk about that for the future. This is showing off stuff that the community is working on in various shapes and form, different levels of finish, basically. Let's see what we got. Oh, this is just a camera. Let's see what we got. If in the future you want to be part of this, submit your stuff before the end of the Thursday game stream. That's when we pull them, is after that. This first one comes from Metal. Wait, did you guys do this last week?
I was going to say,
this is old. Please hold.
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 Oh no.
Oh, why is it so long?
You guys can see the screen. It's comically long. Hold on. Brian, why don't you entertain these people?
Yeah, definitely. I can do that. I'm good at entertaining. I think right now I'm going to start working on, while we figure this out, a banner.
A banner. That sounds
I want
great.
to try to like add a banner to this guy because all the Terminators now have banners for freezies. So naturally,
right,
in 11th edition, you'll have to pay for the stuff again.
Yeah.
And I'll be very sad.
But, oh my god, I can't do this.
I'm just gonna work on a banner.
Good.
I've got like the main body figured out of the second guy. Actually, it was much faster now that I have a system in place for it.
Right.
Or like an idea of what I want to do at least.
What are you gonna do for the banner?
I'm just gonna take the regular Terminator arm from the Terminator's kit, and then just slap the Grey Knight's arm banner hand thing on it.
Oh, that's surprisingly
because the right
straightforward.
arm that's holding the staff on the first guy I did is the actual Terminator arm. It's just the left arm is the one from the Grey Knight's kit. So the arms are actually the same size. There's just more posability with the actual Terminator's kit as opposed to the Grey Knight's kit because they're all very kind of, not mono-posed, but they're all very similar posing. Whereas the Terminators have a little bit more dynamic posing.
That's so funny. I always figured that the others had longer arms, but apparently not.
I think the only thing that really got changed was the size of the torso and then also the legs. They just like made the legs bulkier and longer.
Right.
Which I think it honestly works better to mash up with the smaller torsos with the larger legs.
Honestly, yeah.
Because I think while the Terminator kit looks really cool, the torso is just comically large.
You would say that. All right, here we go. We got this. Okay. We lost chat. There we go. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. This first one is from Last Neko. We know these guys. These are the Piper makes stuff. Drones. These are the bodies before you do the.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought these were like pins or badges or something. I was like, what am I looking at?
As soon as I saw it, I was like, I know what this is. So yeah, the little drone heads basically.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
It's like a weird angle.
Yeah, it's like top down. It does look like pins, like badges, like Pokemon badges. You know. So shout out to Last Neko for that. Next up, the BS Machine.
The BS Machine. Ooh, some crisp lines.
We know you love hazard stripes, and this is the closest thing we could find to it.
I think the chevrons and hazard stripes are kind of the same thing.
Wow.
They're very similar.
Look, Brian, there's the same color. One of them's yellow. This looks awesome, though. I love it. I really like the torso, too, or the carapace. They have like these like almost like racing stripes kind of vibe to them.
They're very crisp lines, too, also.
Yeah. It's always so scary when you're masking stuff because it's like, okay, get them real nice and tight, paint them up, and then sometimes if the paint goes on too thick or if you leave it for too long, it'll start to like seep through.
Yeah.
So the reveal is terrifying. So that is the BS Machine. Next up, Wilsonius. Of course, very big Ultramarines fan. So I feel like I say this every time, but I just want to shout out. I love how much it's like his Stormcast Marines are Ultramarine colors. Yep. It's awesome. It's classic.
Like, do what you love.
Yeah.
That's why Adrian has Vallejo Blue Green on all his models.
Exactly. Who cares? If someone's like, you paint that color too much, don't worry about it. Everything Vallejo Blue Green. So yeah, shout out to Wilsonius. Next up, Rourke.
Whoa.
These are like really sick.
Tau. Wait.
Skaven Tau.
Skaven Tau. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
I'm trying to... Scalvin. For the Scalva.
Can we just do Talvin?
Talvin. Talvin. It's Talvin Ball. But it's really elegant, actually. Like
It almost looks like it is meant to be, you know?
Right?
And I guess that means it's a good conversion because it looks like it's meant to be. I like the idea of just having a horde of Skaven in 40k.
Yes, it's so cool.
Can you imagine rats with Tau guns?
That's
I
terrifying.
mean, that's kind of what they have in fantasy.
That's basically, sci-fi, or Sigmar. For the three-horned Talva! Really elegant conversion. And then there's more of this on our Discord as well. So, next up, Shiba Zenki. We've been getting updates on the really cool Votan army.
Turtles in a half shell.
Is that actually the line?
Yeah.
What? I love this one has like actual legs. It's like a literal turtle.
I love that.
It's so cute.
That's so cool.
It's so good. Skatau is Tau with trumpets and checkered bands. Talvin's good. But yeah, Shiba Zenki been getting us some cool updates on their Tau. I really liked their Jaegers with like the lime green. It's good. So very cool, very cool. Next up, Floof.
Ooh.
Now Floof is an excellent Gene Stealer Colts player and also great converter and painter. So it's been cool seeing like we're getting a new model every week pretty much. That's a thick aberrant right there.
That's a thick boy.
This isn't converted orc actually.
Is it an orc? Oh, it's just fantasy orc. It's a more orc.
It's the
It's one of the new ones. They're
like berserker kind of
or
ones.
something, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The squishes.
Squishes. Yep. Sure. Is that the head from the not Kill Team, Necromunda Gene Stealer Cult?
Oh, that's what it is.
It is, right?
And that's why it's a big scale. Oh, because I was like, a Gene Stealer head's gonna be too small on this body. It looks like it's a smaller model because everything's proportional. But this guy's like
It was Necromunda, right? It wasn't Kill Team?
Yeah. It's the like fungus
Among
guys.
Us. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
That's sick. I love that. And the skin tone's really cool. It's like really pale blue.
Right? With the chest tattoo is nice.
Yeah.
Really cool, low tech. So shout out to Floof. Next up, Ginger Age. Been working on this Tyranids Sylvaneth mashup army, and it is terrifying.
I'm not gonna lie to you. As soon as I saw this,
Yeah.
I was like, this is Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Because you have like the Power Ranger in the front, and then their
yeah.
massive vehicle, their thing behind him. I was like, this is amazing.
That's so good. I love this is the I love the Tyranid head in the beetle like carapace. Actually worked really well.
That's really cool.
Is this a Norn Ginger Age? I forget if you had said what unit specifically this is for. It looks awesome. And of course, our good friend Dr. Rhino. Check him out on Twitch and occasionally on PlayOn. We love a good bust, don't we?
Yeah.
So sick.
I gotta paint one actually.
Yeah?
For you guys.
We're gonna, like as a demo. I'm excited to paint your bust. Yeah. I found that there was a really cool artist at Nova, actually, kind of new to the scene. He had like 3 busts. I got his business card, so I'll show you. But they're cool. They're very, very cool.
I'm gonna buy them all.
They were selling out fast. Turbogon. Oh, it's for the Turbogon. Perfect.
Oh, nice. That makes sense. The head is the Turbogon head. No, that's a Moloch.
No, that's Turbogon
Is
head.
that the Turbogon? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's nice. I like when you do conversions. It's like give little tells to kind of help people mentally connect it, because it can be very taxing to play with a fully converted army.
Yeah. Especially if like you're having to ask every time, like, oh, what's this thing? Or
Is it?
What does this thing do? Or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not gonna remember. So having a little stuff like that is definitely a huge boon.
I like it. But yeah, shout out to Dr. Rhino. Awesome work.
That looks great.
Next up, we've got, so this stuff is either stuff that we got before that was sent to Nova, or I saw at Nova, or whatever. So some of it is capital palette stuff, some of it is just cool army stuff. So Durnicus, for example, had a really cool under the sea Tyranid army with full display board. It was really cool to see. No pun intended.
Yeah, we looked at this last week.
Yep.
But I mean, I love this. This is so cool.
It's awesome.
Like the color palette on this, like obviously the Tyranid color, like it's not Leviathan technically, but it's like Leviathan adjacent almost.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And then also like, but the blue on the base is like, I don't know what, pink and blue just goes so good together.
Well, and they also tie it in with the brain too. So like it's a good exercise in like a color palette because there's that contrast, but there's actually not that many different colors here, right? There's a little orange, which again, great sea color.
Yep. And then you also have like the darker areas on the carapace, which is like that purple. So like you have, like you said, you have the contrast. You have the darks, you have the lights, and the colors just work really well together.
Exactly.
Especially for it being an under the sea kind of vibe. Like you have the vibrant colors.
Such a cool concept.
Yeah, it's so sick.
We love nautical themes. I don't know why we didn't think of nautical Tyranids. Right?
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Next up, Zinoir, who again we got to chat with a good amount at the meetup Friday night. And I was just talking with him, and he was like, "Well, I'm working on like Glot Night," and I was like, "Wait, the Glot Night?"
Yeah,
because we've been seeing progress on this for a while.
Yeah,
in this stream.
We saw it when it was like first started, I think, right?
Yep.
When we first started looking at
the
it.
build process, and it looks awesome. This was part of Capital Palette, just an awesome conversion, excellent paint job, and it was cool just getting to chat with Zinoir.
Bro needs to exfoliate.
Yeah, look, don't we all? So just very, very, very cool conversion. And definitely check out more pictures on Discord. Next up, we've got, okay, so if you watch the stream, I wanna hear from you. So in the back of this image, there's this cool like portal of like a keeper coming through the portal, and it's a converted Noctila crown. We looked at it again a few weeks ago, and rather than just show that original picture, I wanted to show a picture of it in the wild. I apologize for the purple lighting. This is the main Nova room. It sucks. It's horrible. I wish they would just do normal lighting. But this was cool. This was on the 40K narrative tables. And it was this awesome, like, Slanesh, like, Chaos Realm board. It was awesome.
Yeah, I think if I ever went to Nova to play, it would probably just be the narrative.
Yeah. There's just too much fun stuff going on.
Yeah, like there's way too much. I think also I would probably just do painting stuff if I'm going to be completely honest. But
the paint scene in the Nova is strong, and it's been growing, like really, 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 really. A lot more people going just for that.
Yeah, it's super cool. I love that.
Next up, we've got this beautiful Necron army that is not normally all purple and blue, but it was stunning. It was this massive, beautiful display board of the tomb. All these Necron models. It's easier for chat to see than you. They're all like converted.
Yeah, I can't see any of this.
They look amazing. Amazing conversions, amazing paint, just really inspiring. So, highly recommend checking it out. He actually played it as a keeper. It looked so cool. I think it was part of the terrain, honestly. I was trying not to disturb the game, but it like matched the table. So, I think they were running the event. But again, I would like to hear from this person. And then finally, this beautiful, beautiful Custodes. Oh, this kind of got cut off. This was in the thumbnail. Beautiful Custodes on a beautiful display board. So, just so much cool stuff. Again, I didn't take pictures of all the amazing
That's always the problem, because like you want to enjoy the event and be there and be present.
Yeah.
To like experience it all, but also because we do content. Like, oh, I should content.
I wish I like. It's hard because they're also anonymous entries, so there's no names.
Right.
Like a lot of them I knew from people or Instagram or whatever. I guess I should just like take a picture of it, and then we could almost find them on Instagram afterwards. Because like the thing with like seeing them in person is like it's different. It's so much cooler seeing them in person than a photo. A photo looks great, but your mind almost doesn't believe it, and you see it in person, you're like, oh my god, this looks.
Yeah, it's real.
It's
now,
real.
Right? Yeah.
This is actually how it looks. So I don't know. I feel like we can do a better job of reporting that in the future.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And that is the community corner. Again, we do this every Thursday at the end of the stream, so it's just cool checking out what people are working on.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good stuff recently. Like over the last couple of months, we've been like really seeing like a takeoff in the amount of activity that goes on every week,
100%.
which I'm super excited about.
And that's the hope, is like, let's help inspire each other and encourage each other. There is a feedback section on Discord if you're looking for that kind of thing. I just highly recommend you checking it out, and you don't have to be a member or anything. So If you do want to become a member, though, you'll get access to this stream every week.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it is like boards, terrain, armies that don't come out even for a few weeks or a month in advance. So it's cool to see. Before we close it out, I want to just kind of recap what we worked on today.
Yeah.
You made a very beautiful Grey Knight.
I made a single Grey Knight, and it only took me 2 hours. Did we get?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Did not. All right, Matthew Powell, thank you so much for the super chat. And they say, what should I spend all my money on? I need a pitmobile for Robot Gilman. Would a Mastodon, Thunderhawk, Stormbird? What? Storm? Jesus. Stormbird or Rhino work best? A Thunderhawk is the only correct answer here.
Yeah, like you got to do Thunderhawk.
If you're going to do any of those, you do a Thunderhawk.
Yeah.
If that's even an option, you do a Thunderhawk.
I don't know if you can do any of these things, but you should just do it because it's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's more of a Thunderhawk guy. If you said Dorn, I'd go Mastodon, but
yeah,
Thunderhawk for sure.
Yeah, Thunderhawk.
I love it. Thanks, Matthew Powell, with your cheap New Zealand models.
This is where I'm at, though. I got one guy done.
It looks great.
And he's got his little book.
It's the prototype. You solved a lot of problems.
And then now I have this guy who's like in the process. He's halfway. Torso on legs.
It looks great. I'm
And
really
then I
impressed.
have a banner that he'll be holding here in a second. It'll cover up most of his body, so it's great.
Oh, I'm so excited.
One thing I will say that I'm very pleased with, who asked me this, but the death. Oh no.
Yep. There you go.
The Grey Knight's shoulder pads.
Yeah.
They fit on the arms of the Terminators with just a little bit of trimming. So if you look at, this is like the regular Terminator shoulder pad. I don't know if you guys can see this super well, but there's like these little studs here. If you just trim up the studs, the shoulder pad sits much better.
Right. Because they're all...
Yeah, so like if you take these studs off here, I currently already trimmed these ones down a little bit. It sits much more flush.
Okay, that's a good shout out actually, because we were wondering about that for other conversions.
Yeah. And then this is what it looks like when it's actually on the model.
So good.
You can like not really tell that. Like this is the actual Terminator arm.
It looks good.
The shoulder pad from the Grey Knights and then the hand from the Grey Knights. They work really well together. The scale fits really well.
100%. Ooh, Matthew Powell makes a compelling point. A Stormbird is just a bigger Thunderhawk. Well, then you gotta go Stormbird. I didn't even know what this. Isn't the Thunderhawk the biggest one?
Thunderhawk, I think, is the biggest one they produce.
They don't make a Stormbird.
So if you can custom make a Stormbird, send us one also.
yeah. You can just do that. That'd be great.
It's actually the size, so a toddler fits inside.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that'd be sick. I have seen the toddler tanks. Those are pretty dope.
It's like one of those, like the little trucks.
Yeah. The little Tykes trucks.
Yeah. Or not about that the kids are riding.
Yeah. So good. Oh man. Thanks, didn't try that on the captain. So good to know about the pads. Perfect. Glad we could be of help. And digital inspired by Brian. Although his will be magnetized, so.
His will be magnetized. So look, if you want to send me some of your magnetized ones.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll stop this project right now.
And Mr. Great and Clean One coming along. Made a lot of progress today. We're fleshing him out.
Yeah, he's looking gross.
Yeah, he's very disgusting.
All the best ways.
Oh yeah, he's so, look at him. Big Daddy. Played by Danny DeVito, definitely. Big penguin energy for sure here. They did make Stormbird. They just cost twice as much as Thunderhawks.
Thunderhawks already cost a lot, I have to imagine.
So that's 2 home mortgages instead of 1. Fair enough. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us today. We are going to be wrapping it up. And of course, don't forget, Saturday we'll be back at it. I'm going to be playing Chaos Demons. Brian's going to be playing Dark Angels with 15 Deathwing Knights. First time of the edition. And it's going to be a birthday stream, so it's going to be a ton of fun. And again, join us on Monday.
Monday-gmar.
We might have a special surprise for you. We'll leave it there. With that, Lindsay's got the keys. We'll catch y'all next time on the Tabletop. Bye.